A very good evening, everybody. Nice to have your company wherever you're tuning in all around Australia as we bring you Friday Night Motorsport for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club live and exclusive to SimShed Broadcasting across YouTube and Facebook. And, of course, we're on the Gentleman Sim Racing Club broadcast page as well. This is the fourth night and the final one at that of our 7th week of Season 1 in 2021. And it is Freaky Friday first up from the Okayama International Circuit, completing a real Oriental-flavoured week here on the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. And, of course, on the back of that, sorry about the noise in the background, my new laptop doesn't like going into sleep mode, and it decides not to mute itself, or unmute itself, rather. And then, of course, we've got round 7. As I said, it's been a real Oriental flavour this week, but we will get some Australian action in there as well. First up with the Indycars on the second leg of the doubleheader here from Phillip Island in Victoria. What a cracker. That is set to be the 4th road course race of the season. So good evening, everybody. Zach Caber, Nick Fodiatis with you. Paul Nichols with us later. Welcome to our coverage here on SimShed Broadcasting. And a familiar face back in the house and back at the top of the timesheets as we go global Mazda racing on Freaky Friday for the first time this year. Nick Fodiatis from the Okayama International Circuit. So Okayama for the second time this week, this time on the full circuit. And a personal favourite for so many of these drivers is the car of choice tonight.
Yeah, MX-5, it may be a basic road car, but it is a fun track car. So level playing field, so to speak. There's not much you can really adjust. Just get in and go.
Indeed, and we're looking forward to so much throughout the course of the night here. Of course, this 40-minute race will just be the entree to the main course, which is the Sharp EIT, with thanks to Motorfocus Road to Indy Series, and we cannot wait for that from Phillip Island. 5 different winners so far in 6 rounds. No reason we can't make that list a little bit bigger tonight, and I'm expecting a huge field, A, because it's Phillip Island, and B, because IndyCar has been the place to race in the Gentleman Sim Racing Club so far this year. But great to have Brenton Hobson back on the grid. For those of you that haven't watched Gentleman Sim Racing Club action before, Brenton's just one of our absolute pros. He's up there with the Mikey Hammonds, the Jackson Rayhanas. He usually towels the competition up, but he's been a little bit MIA so far this season. So he's just going to waltz in Shane Wallace style and probably carve everybody up here, but that's what we expect. Chris Whittaker's in the server as well, ladies and gentlemen, so it's good to have him in on a Friday night. Who else have we got here? Adam Coughlin, Adam Lavis, Paul Nichols, Frank Kodak's in the server. A really good field tonight. In fact, 21 cars have set a qualifying time, a lot more. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 more drivers on top of that set a practice time. So we could have as many as 31 cars on the grid for Freaky Friday, which would be a Freaky Friday record. But I must say, Nick, I'm just pleased to see more than 10 out there this week.
Oh, look, the MX-5 brings them out. As much as people bag on the car, it's actually not a bad race car.
No, it's not at all. Right. Championship standings as far as Freaky Friday is concerned, that should be a good starting point for yours truly. 129 for Gary Cousins, Adam Lavis 115, Adam Coughlin 96, 64 for Jared Daly and 60 for Jonathan Turner. They're the top 5. Won't go too far beyond that. Cars are on the grid lining up, getting ready to start here. So we'll move to the grid for you in just a moment. We should be ready to go here. And also, such is the participation hit and miss rate of this series that it's really a broken championship at this point in time. But the grid, it's Brenton Hobson on pole, Lachlan Murphy alongside him, Chris Whittaker and Matthew Dench from row 2 after his impressive performance in GT4 last night. Jaden Schmidt and Dylan Gray from 3rd row. Then Adam Coughlin and Grant Gill, the 4th row. Adam Lavis and Paul Nichols, 2 club regulars, 2 club stalwarts, in fact, starting from row number 5. Conan Lovelock and Les Peck from row 6. Brett Andrews and Frank Kodak from row 7. Jonathan Turner and Luke Keamy from row 8. And Jason Dunn and Braden Adolph, row 9. Mark Howard. I'm not sure if that's the Mark Howard, but yep, we'll play with that. Philip Clark, their row 10, then Shane Roffey, and then a long list of drivers that did not set a time. Jared Daly, Rob Carmichael, Angus Cook, Andre Youssef, Chris Stark, Brady McHugh, Jared Daly, Julian Mookie, and then Kyle Reid, Josh Millard, and Wayne Visser, all of which we're expecting to see in the IndyCar race a little bit later on if they don't take the start here. Getting set for a start. Nick, do you have a tip here rather than Brenton Hobson? Can someone spring a surprise? Can Lachlan Murphy go with him? What can Chris Whittaker do?
I think that 88 is going to be pretty hard to beat tonight.
Indeed. We'll get you to take us for a lap of Okayama a little bit later on, and we'll get your thoughts on the upcoming IndyCar race as well. As I've said all along, you're due for a win, so hopefully that's coming up either tonight or in the next couple of weeks at the very least, or maybe you'll just save the best for last and just turn it on in Indianapolis on Good Friday. We'll wait and see. We're 3 weeks out from the end of the season. This is our 6th race in Japan for the week, our 2nd at Okayama, as Oriental Week continues here for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. Freaky Friday, let's do it! Away we go! Off the line nicely, Brenton Hobson got a shocker, actually, if I'm honest with you. Lachlan Murphy's down the inside, and look at Chris Whitaker as well! To the first corner they go. Hobson around the outside just to prove a point. He gets one back on Whitaker, and now goes out in pursuit of Lachlan Murphy into turn 2. Not really a surprise to see him already on the bounce back after a shocker of a start from Hobbo, and that's rare from him. But he's already got his nose back in front as they go side by side through the S's. Why not make it 3 wide early on? Gentlemen, the race is 40 minutes long, not 30 seconds. Onto the back straight. Great start from Dylan Gray up 2 spots. Jaden Schmidt and Matthew Dench tucked in behind. Another great start from Dench. He slipped back to 6th. Coughlin, Gill, Nichols and Lovelock, the top 10. Lafers has dropped 2 spots as well. And here's Murphy and Hobson and Whitaker all tucking into the inside line. Now Hobson goes to the outside. Murphy trying to defend, Whitaker trying to go through with Hobson, not able to do it just yet. Hobbo going to hang tough on the outside there and try and get Murphy back through turn 6. Oh, yes, he's got him because Murphy's run wide. Contact and they're both gone. And that's all because Murphy clipped the dirt.
Flash graphics flashback, here we go.
What a start, Nick.
Oh, look, it's clear that Lachlan Murphy did not want Brenton Hobson to get past because he was just going to jet away, I think. See here, they're going side by side into the right-hander after the hairpin. Lachlan's drifted wide. Brenton's given him enough room, but Lachlan has gone onto the dirt, given it a right foot, and drilled the door of Brenton, which clears them out of the way, and then Chris Whitaker just goes, thank you, see you later, bye.
And that all comes back to Jonathan Turner's in the lane, Brenton Hobson's back to 17th, and Lachlan Murphy back to 18th. In fact, make that 18th and 19th for the 2 boys, respectively. And, wow, that's an extraordinary start. Dunn in the lane, Hobson in the lane, Murphy off track at the moment. You saw Murphy very briefly there sitting at pit entry, but he wasn't on the right side of the fence to go into the lane. What a start here in Japan. If that's anything to go by, I can't wait for this IndyCar race. Fair dinkum. The precedent has been set. That's how you do lap 1 MX5 style. The Global Mazda, it's a favourite, and it's one of our personal favourites within the Gentleman Sim Racing Club, leading the way at the moment. And to be fair, race control will view that as a racing incident, Nick. They have to. There was no malice, no intent there from Murphy. It's just the dirt, the sand, the gravel. It flicked him left.
A little bit careless. But I guess you can see a little bit, I don't know if he was, but from my perspective, it looked a little bit deft at trying to keep Brenton behind. I mean, lap 1, come on.
Well, yeah, they set a very dangerous precedent for what's to come on lap 1. If that's the intensity of which they're going to race with, fair dinkum. I can't wait to see what they're pumping out in 36 minutes' time.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Grant Gill for Ocular.
Well, a bit of a train of cars here. It looks like, who's that green car up front? I've lost live timing.
Dylan Gray. Dylan Gray sits 2nd at the moment. He's going 4 spots, Nick. And then back to Jaden Schmidt, Matthew Dench, Adam Coughlin, and Grant Gill.
Well, Dylan's not losing Chris, but he seems to be just the cork in the bottle, just a tenth or 2 slower. And it seems to be holding up people behind. But key here is always look forward. Let them work their way out around you, not the other way around. Don't go defending too early. Plenty of race to go.
Yeah, exactly right. And we're only on lap 3. Now, I didn't get through. We were a little bit tight for time off the top there tonight because we were trying to talk up the return of, the great Brenton Hobson. Just, we've put the mocker on him already here through no fault of our own. Just let's run through some race stats here for you as we watch Jaden Schmidt coming under some pressure now as well. He's got 1 car in front of him. That's Dylan Gray. He's got 1 car behind him. That is, of course, Matthew Dench. They are side by side on the back straight. Oh, it's good stuff early on. The 3.72 kilometres is this circuit, 11 turns. 30% the fuel tank capacity on these cars. Nick, will that be enough to get them home, or will there be a splash and dash here?
I have no idea. I don't think these things burn too much.
Oh no, jeez, they're out in force tonight, these boys, aren't they?
If
Taking
they
no
fight,
prisoners.
Chris Whitaker's just going to get away. So, but I guess some crash in the background.
Oh yep, car off. That's Grant Gill, and there's another one there with him as well. You think it's Adam Lavis? Yeah. So Grant Gill and Adam Lavis coming unstuck. Whoop, whoop.
Flash graphics flashback shows us the action. Grant Gill here. Looks like Paul Nichols, and then in trail that green car. Sesame Street. Adam.
Adam's just served him up, and they got a clip on the way through as well. So it was a bang, bang, bang contretemps whammy. Good stuff.
If we go to Paul Nichols' car, I believe he's got Ernie on the side of his car. Might even have Bert on the other side.
I love it.
We'll see if he comes through this shot.
Actually, look.
It is. Sesame Street.
Yeah. We shouldn't encourage it because it won't be long, given the controversy regarding bloody Pepe Le Pew this week. And someone will be up us about Bert and Ernie. They'll be saying, "Oh, you can't have Bert and Ernie on your car for insert stupid woke reason here." But let's hope that isn't the case. Good old Sesame Street.
Pushed him wide. One on either side of the track. Paul Nichols is licking his lips. He's going to get through.
Matthew Dench is there. Adam Coughlin's there. Paul Nichols is there. So I think that was Coughlin up on the outside of Dench, and Nichols in the toe. And now look at Schmidt going through on the inside. Can he get up on the inside of Gray? Look at this. Schmidt to second. Nice job. Whoa. Oh, no. That was Coughlin trying to go around the outside of Gray. That didn't help in the meantime. The up and under from Gray, that won't work because Schmidt has the inside line. Coughlin had to balk himself to try and avoid hitting Gray here as well. And then you've got Dench and Nichols as well. Nico, just play patient. He's not listening to us at the moment, but if he wants to win here, he's just got to play patient and let these guys take each other out. Oh, deep goes Coughlin. Wide goes Coughlin. Through goes Nichols to fifth. And Coughlin's coming back on the inside. He's got the job done. So he's got Ernie on one side. Has he got Bert on the other? And who's on the bonnet? Is that Elmo on the bonnet?
Might be. Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll ask him at the end of this race, I'm sure. We'll find out. I just need to find out who's on the other side. Yeah, it is Bert on the other side. Good stuff.
Promoting learning and counting to 12. Once again,
you're going to have to count further than 12 to get home tonight, Nick. Don't worry about that.
The more they fight, the more Chris Whitaker gets away. And as we do know, he does drive MX-5s in the real world. So this will be his bread and butter. There you can see he's got, what was it, 4.8 second lead or something? Yeah, look at that. Look at the lead he's got now. Who's in second? I've lost Lifetime. Lifetime, he keeps coming back and going on.
Yeah, I'm having some glitching issues with it as well.
So we've got
but it is Chris Whitaker in front.
Schmidt in second, and he's got around Dylan Gray. But let's see if he's the cork in the bottle now.
Well, that's right.
Let's stick with the second place fight and see what happens down here into the hairpin. We've already got Paul Nichols side by side.
We need to give Chris Whitaker some airtime because it's about 11 months since he last led a gentleman's sim club racing race. So it's good to see him at the pointy end. Oh, Nico, pull it up. Coughlin there. Jesus, good stuff.
Frank Hodak's closing in on these guys as well, so he could make it a six-way fight here for second place.
Some great battles unfolding here. It's really good to watch. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're tuning in around Australia. All around the world. They're all pushing the limits. They're all finding their way across the AstroTurf there on the outside of the Ripple Strip. And they're testing the waters because they know 1 foot on the grass, 1 wheel on the grass, and their history, they're toast.
It's like a celebrity race, almost like the old Adelaide celebrity races.
Or Melbourne as well, for that matter, yeah. Exactly. So, 31 minutes on the clock. Let me go back to some race stats here, just so you get an understanding of what the competitors are dealing with here. It's 5:22 in the afternoon. The date's set to the 1st of the 4th. So we're going to April Fool's Day, and that's fair. That's given some of the stuff we've seen thus far.
Straight on the side of Paul's car, maybe.
Exactly. The sun's moving twice as quick as it normally does. So by the time this race finishes, we'll be past 6 o'clock. But it is getting towards the end of the year in Japan where they have the longer days, so we shouldn't be in the dark at the end here. The wind westerlies at 17 k's an hour as Hobson comes up on the inside of Lavis and gets the job done back into 15th. Tough, long road back from there for Brenton Hobson, no doubt about that. Partly cloudy and 30 degrees in the sky, 32 on track, so really warm conditions for the MX-5s. The race 40 laps, pace car speed 64 k's, pit lane speed 60 k's if we need either or. Fast repair limit of 1, so Hobbo's probably already burned his. 15x is where penalties start being applied, and then every 5x thereafter. I just wanted to touch on all of that. We normally try and do it before the start. We were short for time tonight, so apologies there. We might look at coming on air 5 minutes early next week, just so that we have a little bit more time up our sleeves. Whittaker leads. It's Gray in second, Schmidt third, Coughlin fourth. Now we go back to this cracking scrap. Schmidt looking down the inside, couldn't get the job done on Gray. So Gray's back to second. Now, just quietly, fastest lap of the race for Brenton Hobson. Are we really surprised? 145.58 for him. Meanwhile, Chris Whittaker's fastest lap is 146.14 and a 146.49 the last time round. He's in no rush at all out there, Chris Whittaker. Don't do it, Schmitty, don't do it. Oh, no, side by side on the main straight. Jeez, they're brave tonight. Let's go 3 wide and make a real race of it. Come on, Denji, get in there. 3 wide down the main straight, Okayama. How good's Global Master Racing on a Friday night? And now to turn 1. Dench went wide, Schmidt went wide, Gray back up on the inside. There's contact, a little bit of hip and shoulder there as they run to turn 2. Oh, you can't take your eyes off this. 5-way scrap for second, and Jaden Schmidt has his nose, well, Jaden Schmidt did have his nose in front. It's now, of course, Dylan Gray. My timing's just froze again, so we're flying blind here at the moment. Now to turn 5. That's a great run so far.
Let's have that totem
from
pole.
Dylan Gray.
Yeah, we've run out of time.
The totem pole's going to have to stay there. Now, Frank Kodak, Les Peck, Shane Roy, all faster than their previous best on the last time by. So too Luke Keamy, Braden Adolph and Philip Clark. But Brenton Hobson still has the fastest lap of the race. They head down towards turn 6, I think it is. And that is a very good run. Oh, Dylan Gray got a nudge there from Dench. Nico's up on the outside saying, why not? Let's have a race of it. Schmidt tucks back in. Oh, this is cracking stuff. Second, third, fourth, and fifth. No wonder Chris Whittaker's not getting any airtime. That's a 5-way fight for second you're watching there, ladies and gentlemen. And Chris Whittaker, well, he's just cleared out. Down the inside bench. No, not yet.
And Frank, the more these guys fight, the more Frank Herdak's coming into it as well. So,
yep.
I think we're on board here with Dylan Gray, and you can see, looking back, he's just got a crocodile of cars back in. They all keep fighting, they all keep holding each other up, and the further Chris Whittaker gets away. So these guys have hung wide, they're touching, and they're not going to get a run, but if we keep on this spot here, you'll see a couple cars pop out and have a go into turn 1.
Just quickly too, I've just had someone message me. I shared the... Oh, geez, Schmidt trying to get down the inside of Dench, and Dench right on the clucker of Gray, giving him a big hurry up. Let me come back to the viewer feedback in just a moment. Oh, we can't take our eyes off this. This is just extraordinary stuff. 27 minutes to go. We're only 13 minutes into this thing. And my voice is going to be gone, and we've got Indycars still to come. I mean, fair dinkum.
Yeah.
Straight down the inside. Oh, it's contact. Dench is going to the wall. Gray's off the side, and Schmidt's off the side. It's in second if you don't mind. Oh, it had to happen eventually. 1, 2, 3, kabam!
Dominoes. Get out of there, Nico.
Oh.
Get away from people.
And that all started here because Schmidt got unsettled in the braking area. Have a look at this. Schmidt went to the inside, got unsettled, and that sent him
a bit wide.
He got taily and then went bang into Dench. Dench goes into, well, Dench didn't quite get Gray. It was Schmidt that got Gray. Dench went firing off into the wall. Schmidt couldn't pull it up, got into the side of Dylan Gray, and through go the rest of the pack.
Can we watch
it's the survival of the fittest tonight.
Can we watch that from Paul Nichols on board somewhere? Looking
yeah,
forward,
let's do that for sure.
At full speed too, if you can, Mr. Director. But yeah, look.
Not asking for much, of course.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Flash graphics, flashback. Thank you to Flash Graphics. Here we go. On board Paul Nichols on the run down to turn, what's that, 3, 4?
Yep.
Setting him up, big brake zone. got to get this right to get onto the backstretch.
Oh.
And then, yeah, see you later. Oh, look, clear track.
Yeah, they've just cleared it. They've just, the waters have cleared for him. It's beautiful, isn't it?
I suppose it's parting the seas there.
Yeah, unbelievable. He'll remember that too, because he has made that reference before as Paul Nichols. I'm expecting it within half a second of him joining us in the commentary box tonight for the IndyCar race, because it's the A team for you tonight. We've got Paul Nichols, we've got Nick Fodiatis joining us in commentary, folks. The A team's in the house. Don't worry about that. Nico's here for IndyCar on the other side.
I'm BA. BA Baracks. Looks like Schmidt, Gray, and Coughlin have fallen to 5th, 6th, and 7th. They had that much of a lead. So, good old Les Peck coming into the scene there, jumping on the back of those guys, and Ruffy as well. And what do we got? Dench and Nichols now. Oh, and Frankie's caught onto the back of those guys. So, is it Jaden Schmidt? If you're Jaden Schmidt, you're kind of by yourself there. But here we go. Already going defensive, guys. Still 24 minutes to go.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's insane, isn't it?
The fastest way around the corner is a straightest line, so you don't want to tighten up the corner too much, and then you just keep losing time, because look at that, Chris Whitaker's out to 10 seconds.
Indeed he is. Now, I'm still waiting for live timing to restore itself, but I think the live timing server has just gone down for the night, folks.
Oh,
so you're just gonna have to, oh no! That's Coughlin around! Now, was there contact there from Pet?
No, it was Hodak and Dench.
Oh, my apologies, Hodak. Yeah.
Totem pole right now. So
Yeah,
haven't recovered. So Frankie stuck his nose in there and looks like he got chopped off.
Unbelievable. They were all trying to catch Nico. So again, it's a case of Nico surviving all the carnage around him.
Yeah.
Bang.
So you can see what happened is Nico went to the middle of the road. So it looks like Dench went to go a bit wider to cut back in to get a good run through the two hairpins, and Frankie took the invite and stuck it down the inside. Yep.
And apologies, folks. It's getting a little bit interesting here, because as we say, we've got our live timing website has just crashed itself. So we're relying on different information tonight. So if we flip up here and there, you know exactly what's going on. Bear with us. We'll do our best. And I think I've been calling Dench the wrong car for about 5 laps, but that's just, again, a consequence of what's been going on here. Have a look at this scrap, though. In the meantime, this is great stuff. So we've got the 24, which is, of course, Braden Adolph and Phil Clark in the 68, is it? Yeah, so they're side by side. Adolph's got his nose in front. Now Clark will have the inside run as they come down to the long, sweeping right-hander. And Adolph's gone wide. Thank you, Philip Clark says. There we go. Now, I've just had some viewer feedback come through, because every broadcast we do, I share it across to my personal Facebook page. We've had a song request. Any chance for the horses? Now, as much as I love that song, I don't think we could get away with playing it on Facebook and YouTube without the great man's consent. So, look, save the music request for when I'm on West Bremer Radio tomorrow morning. There's a plug for you, from 9 till midday. That's Queensland time, of course. Sorry, folks. I'm getting sick of saying that, Nick. It's only 3 more weeks of this garbage to go. 22 minutes left on the clock. Clark down on the inside of Adolph again. They're just going to run side by side. They're going to try and do this for lap, I think. Hey, almost mirror-to-mirror contact there. Good racing, good hard stuff here in the early stages of what is going to be a cracking night of Friday Night Motorsport on SimShed Broadcasting for the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club.
Just looking back down the field, Brenton Hobbs has recovered only to 14th. And he's only pulled 7 seconds on Adam since he passed him. So it's slow progress. It's still progress, but it's slow. He might have some damage. Might be waiting for, if there's a pit stop, might be waiting for that.
Might be waiting for a safety car that's not going to come.
Yeah, 1 minute 20 is 80 seconds off the lead there. So I do believe Chris Whitaker might be laughing his, as you know what, to the end of the race. He's still got 20 minutes to go, though. The race isn't over.
I think he's laughing his way to victory is what you were looking for there at the moment. He's going nicely, as Chris Whitaker. He'll be smiling and carrying on like a Cheshire cat when he gets in here to have a chat to us, I'm sure, as long as he doesn't throw it away. He's 10 seconds clear of Paul Nichols. Jaden Schmidt is another 5 seconds back. Then Dylan Gray. Then Adam Coughlin, Les Peck, Grant Gill. There's Adolph on the inside of Clark. Job done there. And no, he's run it too wide. And Clark. And that's the thing. It's so easy to do, isn't it? The up and under. How many times have we seen it already tonight? How many times do we see it no matter where we're racing, what venue, what configuration, what car, the up and under is always an option on those type of corners. Now, here comes Adolf having a look back down on the inside. No, this time Clark will take them through. So we're at half race distance all but, ladies and gentlemen. If you're tuning in for the first time this evening, Friday night football, the first game in favour of Newcastle over Canterbury, 32 points to 16. So Zach's 2 from 2 in the tipping comp. Happy days. And Brisbane and Parramatta 0-all. Live updates from that one throughout the course of the evening for you. So looking forward
There's
to
a fella in front.
that.
Chris Whittaker. Hello,
yeah.
Chris Whittaker fans out there.
And don't worry, there are Chris Whittaker fans. He's got a fan club much like Paul Nichols. They will be lapping this up tonight, and not only that, but the Nico fan club will be happy that he's second as well. So he's just, and that's the thing. We often have a laugh at Nico's expense because he usually runs into bad luck. Tonight it's good luck. He just needs to focus on just circulating. He doesn't need to push any limits here. He doesn't need to try hard. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing.
Well, hopefully it's going down to the Wundry Hotel. Every time we should mention Chris Whittaker, maybe they should have a drink.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a Friday night, so most of you don't have work tomorrow. Just have a serious sip when you go for it too tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's the end of the week. It's been good fun. So, the Wundry Hotel, great sponsors of the Gentlemen Sim Racing Club. In fact, every time we mention the Wundry Hotel or Chris Whittaker, just have a sip over the next 20 minutes or so. And then we'll work out a new code word for the IndyCar race, and we're looking forward to that immensely. It might be Sesame Street, given Nico's theme tonight. 19 minutes to go. How's
just what do we got? Murphy, Dench, and Dunn are out of the race now, so there's only 17 cars on track.
All right, good news, Nick. If you refresh your live timing, we've got live timing back, which is good news, and a heaven send to us here in commentary. Great to have your company wherever you're tuning in this Friday night. The Gentlemen Sim Racing Club, SimShed Broadcasting, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're tuning in. We are on lap 13 now as Chris Whittaker crosses the line. He completes lap 12 onto lap 13. And he has an unassailable lead at this point in time, provided that he doesn't muck anything up in the pit stop, of course. There's Conan Lovelock sitting there at the moment. Clark's just run off the circuit. Adolph's gone through. Coughlin, Lovelock. This is the battle we're watching at the moment. Coughlin 11th, Lovelock 12th.
Dylan Gray is in. So, that's us. 002 is in. Luke Keamy is in.
And that's what happens when you hit the wrong Facebook notification on your phone. So Hobbo's pressing on here. That's interesting too, Nick, because we normally expect such a charge back from him, but it just goes to show that a car like the Global Mazda, it's so hard to fight back when you're at the rear of the field on the opening lap. Had he started rear of grid burn from the stern, different story. But when you have an incident and you lose as much time as he did, plus at a pit lane for what was a 46-second stop, you're pushing it uphill, proverbially speaking, at the moment, through to the end of the race, aren't you? He's got a long way to recover here.
Yeah, he does.
I'm just wondering why he was held for 46 seconds. Did he get a speeding penalty or something, I wonder?
I'm jumping on his stream just to try and find out if I get any information I can.
Yeah, righto.
So if the comments pop up, I'll be able to see.
He's a solid second faster than Chris Whittaker, but he's going to run out of time before he gets to Chris. We're on lap 13, where I'm not sure where we are with regards to the time there. If we can just flick that up on the leaderboard, JP, 16:48 to go. So 13 laps in 23 and a quarter minutes. And there's Chris Whittaker going across the line. Now, Paul Nichols is in the lane, by the way. So Nico's the first one to jump there. So what's that? Lap 14. 13 minutes, 17 minutes to go, I think it was there. So, well, we're on track for another 8 or 9 laps at least, including a pit stop. So it's not going to be a race. It's going to be a race somewhere between 21 and 24 laps. And if he's only taking a second out and the margin is, well, in excess of 45 seconds, do the maths, folks. There's no way in hell that Chris Whittaker is going to be caught by Brenton Hobson this evening.
Yeah, look, I don't think Brenton's going to get to Chris Whittaker. Chris Whittaker's got too much of a lead. What's he got? I can't see it. Someone into the pit lane.
Conan Lovelock's in the lane, and Grant Gill's just leaving the lane at the moment. Now, David Kirby's tuning in via Facebook. He's just sent some comments in. Is Hobbo on a massive fuel-saving mission? Well, not everyone can do what we're going to call a Kirby after your efforts on Wednesday night. Not everyone can pull off a Kirby. So we'll wait and see if Hobbo is actually on a fuel-saving mission or whether he's going to try and get this thing home with a little splash and dash as well. Probably not going to plan for him, not going to script for him at the moment. But he is inside the top 10. He has pitted. He's inside the top 10. Paul Nichols back out on the track in 5th. Just Chris Whittaker, Jaden Schmidt, Les Peck and Shane Roffey yet to stop. Just looking down the order, Jason Dunn's 3 laps down, Matthew Dench 4 laps down, and Lachlan Murphy, well, he quit on the he rage quit on the second lap there, so he's out of business. And Jonathan Turner and Mark Howard a lap down as well. We are watching Chris Whittaker at the moment just absolutely carve up as Jaden Schmidt comes into the pit lane, so he's the first one to jump. Hey, geez, that was a wide entry to the pit lane from Peck, and Roffey's in there as well. And he's got to be careful running over the yellow lines on the entry and exit the pit lane. Race control don't look too fondly on that, so Peck will need to be a little bit careful, I think. Here's Paul Nichols sitting 5th at the moment. He should go around all these guys while they are in the lane.
Just check that link I just sent you, Zach, as well. Open that up.
Thank you, mate. I'll
Nichols getting into the dirt. All right, he's desperate for some time here, so use all the road, mate.
I'm hoping I can open that and run the broadcast on Discord at the same time. Yeah, exactly.
But you can have a look at it every now and again. All right, so who's that coming out of the pit lane there? Is it Schmidt in the background there? Les Peck's following him out. It looks like Paul Nichols has jumped clear of these guys. And he's got to make up 53 seconds onto Chris Whittaker, and Chris Whittaker is just the only car not to pit.
Okay, I've got my eyes on Hobbo at the moment, but the pictures. Sorry, mate. We keep going at the wrong time. But I was just going to say I've only just now managed to get myself a feed of Brenton Hobson, but it's very slow. It's kicking along at Queensland speed. So at the moment, I might just close that one for the time being and come back to it a little bit later on. It's not. I've got the link, thank you, but it's not wanting to play ball. So I'll go back to the main broadcast feed. There is our mate Paul Nichols sitting 2nd at the moment. Chris Whittaker's in the lane.
Here's a question: can Chris Whittaker lead every lap of this race?
I think so.
You'll see the stop time coming up once he leaves.
From 3rd to 1st on lap 1, and he stayed there. He's sort of doing a Dick Johnson 1989, going 2nd to 1st on lap 1 and staying there. Yeah.
16.6 second stop there. You can see in the brackets. He's leaving pit lane now, so we've got a flashback.
Uh-oh.
Flashback. What do we got?
Will this be the end of the night for Brenton Hobson?
I reckon he didn't get a gear there. No,
he's just pulled up.
Out.
Hey, actually, that's a fair point. JP's just in our where you're saying he might have run out of fuel. Might be the old. Thanks very much, Brenton Hobson. Thanks for coming. Lovely to see you, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately.
I've just flicked over to Brenton. He's actually out of the car. I think he's out of the server now, so he might be going to do something else.
Not done. I'm disappointed we haven't convinced him to come and have a crack at Indycar yet, to be honest with you. I reckon that'd be top fun. Rightio. Let's pack. So this is the battle for 6th and 7th.
Yep.
Jaden Schmidt's got Dylan Gray on his tail as well. Luke Beamy's under pressure from Braden Adolph and Conan Lovelock for 11th. So we've got a battle for 4th, a battle for 7th, and a battle for 11th at the moment.
3rd, 4th, and 5th are the same 3 from the opening laps. I think we might have to flick to that, guys, because they are not... Yeah, here we are again. Jeez, the more things change, the more they stay the same, right? So previously it was the opposite order of this, actually. It was the green car from the blue car from the grey car. So now we got Adam Coughlin in front of these two. Jaden Schmidt in behind again. He just can't seem to get away from these guys. And then 002 in behind him. With 16 laps completed, how long have we got left?
We'd be getting close to about 10 minutes to go, I'd say.
10 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Chris Whittaker completes another lap. bit of a testing session for Chris, but look at this.
Just a training run, really.
Yeah.
But
Jaden
he's
Schmidt
getting ready for the new season.
all over the back of Adam Coughlin. Gets a run onto the straight now. Which side do you take?
Well, that's the gamble, isn't it? If you get on the inside for one, you're on the outside for two. So, and you can see they're choosing mid-track at the moment, and Schmidt is made to go around the outside. He goes deep, very deep, enough to get the job done. Nice move, Jaden Schmidt. Well done. I thought he was going to go too deep there for a moment, ended up in the gravel, but he pulled it up. Good stuff. Schmidt into third. So Nichols second, Whittaker first, Schmidt third, but he's got his work cut out for him. There's a three-way fight here for the final spot on the podium.
These three must be getting sick of seeing each other's cars. I know I'd be about this time. I was like, oh, come on. Then further back, we've got Les Peck all over Grant Gill over the back of Les Peck, I should say. There we are, right on cue. Excellent, going up the hill. Grant Gill there in the Oculair, car, Mazda MX-5 I should say. He's closing in, but just not close enough to get a look down here at the end of the back stretch.
The Oculair aerial shot shows and tells the story, Nick.
Very undulating track up and down, very good like that. Lots of, there's a couple of hairpins, we've got coming up to two more hairpins up here, which bunch it all up to get a good run onto the front straight. So this is behind the pits. We need the Oculair symbol up there, but anyway, first of the double back hairpins. And if you look in the distance here, the back stretch is just on the other side of that fence, so they could go straight through, I'm sure. Here we are back to the third place fight. Looks like Jaden's put a bit of a gap on Adam and Dylan, so that's going to heat up there. Paul Nichols all by himself, 19 seconds behind Chris Whittaker. And Chris with the shortest stop because he's the one who stopped the last out of everybody.
Yeah, the latest, yeah, exactly. Oh, jeez. A seat of the pants moment there. Les Peck sits sixth at the moment. Grant Gill, Frank Kodak, Shane Roffey, Adam Lavis now in the lane as well for the second time tonight. Chris Whittaker, Paul Nichols, Jaden Schmidt, Adam Coughlin and Dylan Gray, the top five. If you're watching that battle for third, you're joining us on a Friday night. The end of week 7 for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. 3 weeks to Easter. 3 weeks to the grand finale on Good Friday from Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indycar series, with thanks to Sharp Extensive I.T and also Motorfocus. But before that, there'll be a Freaky Friday decider, and I dare say, irrespective of what car it is, I dare say I know the venue, and it's somewhere down there in the central western New South Wales, if you get my drift, Nick.
Possibly. I don't know what you could be talking about. There's plenty of racetracks down there, like Goulburn or something. Oh, Wakefield Park.
Well, Central West, not Southern Highland, but yes, right. Yes. I'm hearing you.
Someone on the other side of the border, right? Gotcha. Yeah, exactly.
Chris Whittaker, Paul Nichols, Jaden Schmidt, Adam Coughlin, Dylan Gray, the top 5. It's been an all right performance from Dylan Gray. Everyone in the top 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 has gained positions on where they started tonight.
Yeah,
the biggest mover, Shane Roffey, up 12 places from 21st to 9th. That's a great drive. So we're inside 7 minutes to go. We're on lap 19 now, at 1 minute and 3/4. We might sneak 5 in here. We might just get up to 23. But if not, 22 is an all right number on a Friday night. I've just got this feeling that Whittaker's going to get back to the line in the last minute before the flag waves.
Notice it's getting dark and the lights are on now.
Yep. Well, that's the disadvantage, I guess. Because this is set to Thursday, April 1, Japanese time. They don't observe daylight saving in Japan because they take the Queensland approach to life. Dylan Gray up on the inside and job done on Adam Coughlin. That's nice from Dylan Gray. So what I'm getting at, Nick, is when they put the server to sun 2 by like twice as quick as usual, they didn't take that into account, that sunset's going to be really dark and really quick here in Okayama. So we've got 7 minutes to go, and it's going to be pitch black almost by the time we finish. Coghlan duck down the inside, and job done. And that was a hard-fought battle. It's one of those circuits, Nick, where you can at times be side by side for half a lap before you sort out your battle. And that was case in point.
Yeah, look, you need cooperation to do it, and these cars are slow enough. I know they're still reasonably fast. They're slow enough that you can do that.
Indeed they are. Here is Braden Adolph. He gets through. Job done on the 24, of course, which is Braden Adolph. Sorry.
Yes, that was
no, sorry. Yeah, no. Sorry. It's the car in front. It's Conan Lovelock that's got through on Braden Adolph. I ruined my own sentence structure there. Apologies for that. Hey, Brisbane fans are going to be happy. My footy tips aren't going to be. Brisbane are 10-0 up on Parramatta at the moment at Suncorp. Oh, contact! Adam Coghlan and Dylan Gray. Oh, no. Return serve from Dylan Gray, and the job is done. And Dylan's carrying on with it. No redress likely from Dylan Gray. We've got lap 20 of possibly 23, maybe 22, depends on where the checkered flag flies here. I think we're going to sneak in a 23rd. Chris Whittaker is on his way home. Paul Nichols, Jaden Schmidt, Dylan Gray, and Les Peck, the top five. Have a look at this. Braden Adolph still all over the back of Conan Lovelock here. They're side by side through turn one on the outside to two. Lovelock and Adolph. Job done. Round the outside. And Lovelock is forced to tuck in. Can't argue with this, Nick. This has been good stuff all through the field. Freaky Friday's been a bit hit and miss with some of the car track combinations, not enticing enough people. But tonight, you couldn't ask for more than what we've had.
Well, I say get off your hands, people. Give it a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
But once again, people vote with their feet. But we got a run here. Conan going to have a look down the inside here. Thinks better of it. Could force a mistake here. It looks like he has.
Oh, right off wide, but he's going to be on the inside for the next corner, so he's going to be able to salvage it. Job done. Brisbane lead 10-0 for those of you tuning in. 19 minutes gone there at Suncorp. That's a turn up for the Cards. They were outside roughies for that game. That's why I tipped Parramatta.
Right, okay.
But anyway, it happens. The Wooden Spooners are going to come out and try and do one better than last year at least. 3 minutes to go. And speaking of one better than last year, Chris Whittaker's going to do one better than he's done for a while here. 2 positions gained tonight, led all the way. He's going to complete the box set, and I don't think he's claimed an incident point yet either. So this has been a tremendous performance from the 35. Paul Nichols second, Luke Keamy there in 13th at the moment, all over the back of Philip Clark. So we've got 3 fights on track now. Peck, Coghlan, Gill, 5th, 6th, 7th. And this battle between Clark and Keamy, the 12th and 13th. Right, yeah, you're right. 2 laps to go. Whittaker's going to come back to the line and get 2 laps to go here. Grant Gill trying to get up on the inside there of Frank Kodak. Gill was wide, but he managed to gather it up.
I think it's better on the black stuff, mate.
Oh, sorry, it's Coghlan. My apologies, in front of him, of course. So, Coghlan, Gill, but Coghlan's still holding on. Now, as for Luke Keamy, he's still all over the back of Philip Clark. Now, Les Peck's gone off the circuit, lost out to both Adam Coghlan and Grant Gill off screen as well. So that's 2 places lost for Les Peck in the closing stages here. But out in front, Whittaker is going to get the last lap board next time by the line. Curb, grass. That'll do it.
Boom.
Bang! Into the wall. See you later. Thanks for coming. Luke Keamy. Back to Chris Whittaker we go. I'll tell you what, this guy's a character within our club. There's no doubt about that. He always puts his heart on his sleeve when it comes to racing. He openly admits, there's no filter with Chris, he openly admits when he's had a rubbish night, he openly admits when he's had a good night, when he's happy, when he's annoyed, whatever the case may be. But it's been a long while since we've seen him on top. He won a stock car race last year at some point, Montreal. I think it was back in season 1. But it's been a long time between drinks for him in the GSRC. This is a deserving victory for a bloke that we were surprised to see on the grid tonight, because he doesn't normally pop up on a Friday night, but he's going to be a very happy chappy when he joins us in about
might be another lap in this
in about 3 minutes time, because he is going to get back to the line here. 22 seconds on the clock. He's actually going to get back to the line and get one more, and that's going to take us to. Yeah, exactly. He could slow down now and just take the checkered flag, but what iRacing's going to give him the white flag, which means he'll come back to the line next time by and take the checkered flag. The white flag is in the air this time. And as I say, in a minute and a half or a minute and 3/4, he will join us for a chat here. He only just got back, about 7 seconds in it in the end. But he's on his way home. It's been
with iRacing, you have to get the white flag. So if you didn't get it on the last lap, you're definitely on for another 2 laps.
Good old David Kirby found that out the hard way the other night.
Yeah.
That was madness.
I'd like to find out what triggers it so we can make sure that, if you got that much of a lead, you can slow down and trigger it, and then make sure that the next lap is your last one. But look at that, 23 seconds over Paul Nichols in second, with another 4.2 seconds over Jaden Schmidt in third. Then we got 002, 333, and the 304, all about 6 seconds back off each other, with Grant Gill right on the tail of Adam Coughlin, as we see right here. Where we got Les Peck with Frank Hodak right on his tail. Shane Roffey another 5 seconds back with number 24 in 10th. So a lot of fights up and down the field.
Indeed. Important to note as well, Nick, 5 seconds was the difference between Whittaker's and Nichols' pit stop, but Nico pitted 2 laps earlier. I don't know if that is the difference in 5 seconds of fuel, but yeah, hey, Chris Whittaker's absolutely cleaned up tonight. He's wiped the floor with everybody, and he can thank Lachlan Murphy for it, actually. Picture
of efficiency right there, Mr. Chris Whittaker. Those of you watching at home, the Chris Whittaker fan club, that's number 35.
That's it. Last turn, checkered flag. The Lippermolly livery is going to get the job done as Oriental Week comes to a conclusion. Whittaker wins in Okayama. What a performance in Japan from this man, weaving from left to right, takes the checkered flag. Whittaker's back in victory lane, a long time coming. Nice one.
Straight.
And then some. Nico's on his way home now. He's still got a corner to go. What a great drive from this bloke. He'll be smiling like a Cheshire cat when he comes into the commentary box as well. Paul Nichols takes second, and he can thank the contretemps in front of him as the seas parted for Moses about halfway through the race there. Nico flies to second. Jaden Schmidt, that's a great drive to third. Man, Adam Coughlin still under tremendous pressure here from Dylan Gray. Dylan's going to give it a chance. Coughlin's out of fuel. Coughlin's out of fuel. Dylan goes fourth. Gill's going to go fifth. Gill's gone from 6th to 4th in 200 metres. Oh, can you believe that? The Ocular entering salvage is 4th. Dylan Gray went into the last corner 5th. Was halfway down the main straight in 4th, crossed the line in 5th. You can't write scripts like that rubbish. Fair dinkum.
Might have to watch that again.
Unbelievable. Let's have a look at this, though. This bloke, can he light it up with burnouts for the MX-5, or is he just going to celebrate his way around the victory lane? He's just cruising around, waving to the crowd. The royal wave's happening right here, right now. He is going to absolutely love this up. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's disappointing that the race did it. And, Adam's run out of fuel as well. So is Chris going to give him... Yes, Chris is going to give him a push all the way to the line. How sportsmanlike is that? Fantastic stuff. We'll get Dylan Gray in to have a chat. Nick, good luck with IndyCar. We didn't even get a chance to chat about that, but obviously Phillip Island, it's going to be a beauty.
It's going to be fast. It's going to be quite dangerous, I believe. So we'll see how we go.
Good luck, mate. Go well. Looking forward to it. It's going to be fantastic. 47 laps, IndyCar coming up shortly. You don't want to miss that. Dylan Gray's here. Frank Hodak's here as well. We'll get to them in just a moment. Here is Chris Whittaker pushing Adam Lavis to the line. How good's that? Great sportsmanship for Adam Lavis to at least get home in 14th here. And Whittaker's going to make sure that he gets around to the line, and then he's going to celebrate, and we'll hear from him in commentary here in just a minute as well. We've got a few minutes up our sleeve before we get stuck into IndyCar. Adam Lavis will take the checkered flag. He's the last one home. He's the last one home on the lead lap. Chris Whitaker from Paul Nichols, Jaden Schmidt, Grant Gill, then Dylan Gray. If the results are almost finalised, when they are, they'll come up on your screen there, folks. Then we go back to Adam Coughlin, Les Peck, Frank Hodak, Shane Roffey, and Braden Adolf, the top 10. If you're a Broncos supporter, they're up 10-0 on the Eels at the moment. Friday Night Football round 1 earlier the night's got the job done, 32-16 over the Bulldogs. Over the page, Conan Lovelock, Philip Clark, Luke Keamy, Adam Lavis, and Jonathan Turner, with Mark Howard in 16th, the last of the finishers. Brenton Hobson, the first of the retirements. Dunn, Dench, and Murphy also calling it quits early in what was a cracking race here. There is no doubt about that. Now, in the end, most positions gained to Shane Roffey as well. He went from 21st to 9th. Quickly around the room here, Chris Whitaker will hopefully join us for chat in just a moment. Paul Nichols, I'll get to you in just a moment as well, because I've got your company for Indycars, so we can cover some stuff there. Love the Sesame Street livery, by the way. There'll be some whingy wanker within the woke generation having a whinge about that at some point, I'm sure. Let's have a chat here, though, to Dylan Gray. Dylan, that was a 200-metre run of mixed emotions, because you went into the corner 5th, you got halfway down the main straight, you were 4th, and then you ran out of fuel and you ended up 5th again.
No, I had a slowdown at the second.
Oh, that'll do it.
What
did you have the slowdown for?
Cut the corner.
Fair enough. That'll do it every day of the week. But in all of that, 5th place, are you happy?
Sort of. I would be happy if I got like 2nd, but that incident had to happen to the wrong time.
Well, that's exactly right. You had the pace. There's no doubt about that, until that contretemps down on the back straight. I'm sure we're going to see a replay of that in just a moment. But what was your view of it? Because you were at the front of the pack at that point in time, and then all of a sudden you're in the dirt.
Pretty much a passenger. I went, these guys got to take each other out. Hopefully they go past me before they hit me. I went, nope, I'm gone with them.
Yeah, exactly right, 100%. Wasn't an easy night at the office, mate, but you did well. Obviously, the Global Mazda brought a big field to Freaky Friday, and it was good fun, wasn't it? Yeah,
it's a ripper of fun. I like this track with the MX-5s and that, but it would have been better if it was like around the new track, Hockenheim.
You're calling very early for a race at Hockenheim. No real surprise there. But that being said, Dylan, so I need to ask this question seriously. Has the love affair with Bathurst died down a little bit? Because if memory serves, last week you would have been happy if we raced every night at Mount Panorama.
Yeah, really slowly Bathurst is dying off. Getting a bit bored around there, just doing laps and laps and laps.
I've never heard someone say that they get bored with running laps around Bathurst, but there you go. It's a first for everything here tonight within the Gentleman's Sim Racing Club. Fantastic stuff. Hey, Dylan, thank you. Let's bring in the race winner. Oh, I'll tell you what about this? He'll be smiling like a Cheshire cat. Chris Whitaker, well done, mate. Long time between drinks into victory lane, and surprising to actually see you here on a Friday night, but you waltz in, you get the job done, and no doubt you're shouting Lachlan Murphy a six-pack this weekend.
Oh, you beat me to it, mate. That's exactly how I was going to kick off. I think I owe Lachlan a six-pack.
There it is on the screen now.
That's it. It would have been on like Donkey Kong. I was looking forward to that. I mean, those two guys had some serious pace. But, yeah, my plan for the whole race was just to sit behind them and see if we could stay in the tow and save some fuel. And then, I did the Moses thing again. So the seas parted and it was basically just a fuel race for me from there. I didn't really know where everyone was at. And so, no, well, I'll just press on and save as much juice as we can, and then overfilled the thing anyway. And but no, it's good driving a car that's a bit slower. I can actually go down the back straight and have a beer and have some pizza, and it was good fun, mate.
It certainly was.
Anytime the MX-5's out, I'm a big fan of the Mazda, so it's always done pretty well for us. So, but I think I got a little bit lucky tonight.
See, this is the thing. You sense with the Mazda MX-5s, if we had a Mazda MX-5 series, Chris Whitaker would be signed in every single week. No doubt about that. So, I mean, there's already calls for a specific TCR series. There's already calls for a more Indy car. There's already calls for some Mazda MX-5 action on a more regular basis. So, we can't cater to everyone, but at least we can get the Mazdas up every now and then. Hey, Chris, stay there with me. I'll flick it quickly around the room here as we get set for IndyCar coming up in about 15 minutes time. Braden Adolf, let's bring you in because that was an interesting night at the office for you as well. You were in the thick of battle right from go to woe.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. Had an absolute horrible start. Dropped the clutch way too early. Spun the wheels. Had a tangle with Hobbo, so that dropped me down the field even more. Had an absolute fantastic battle with Philip Clark and
Yes.
Conan Lovelock for a good 40 laps the entire race.
Indeed. I'm just watching the NRL here in the background, boys. It looks like the Broncos are going to go 14-0 up on Parramatta. If you had seen that coming at the start of the week, you're a genius. So interesting stuff there. Hey, quickly before we go on here, I'll bring Frank Hodak in because, geez, that was an interesting night at the office for you as well. In the end, what was it? We walked away with position number 8, but it could have been better.
Yeah. Oh, it could have been a hell of a lot better. I thought I was going to do a Bradbury tonight, to be honest, because I didn't qualify great because it's been a while since I've been in the old Mazda. Yeah. Tagged onto the front of the field there for a bit, and I made a costly error and took basically Matt Dent and myself out. So I apologise to Matt. And yeah, maybe I should have waited. The gap looked like it was there, but then it closed really quickly. So hey, I battled on and yeah, just pushed on forward and yeah, just 8. Lucky 8's pretty good for me tonight. So now I'm going to do some IndyCar.
That's exactly right, mate. Hey, come back and check in with us after IndyCar. We're running a little bit tight for time here,
Yeah,
but because you are doubling up, we'll have a chat with you after IndyCar. Good stuff.
Thanks, mate.
Grant Gill, let's bring you in as well because, again, you were in the heat of battle there right until the very end. You went into the last corner 6th. You ended up 4th. That looked like fun. You there, Grant? I think he's done the usual switch the microphone on, but no one's home trick, so we'll get back to Grant in a moment. Nico, I'm going to come back to you as well. Shane Roffey, if you can unmute your microphone while you're there, let's have a chat to you as well. Hey, talk us through that because there was a story everywhere in that field tonight. That was probably the best Freaky Friday race we've seen for a while.
Yeah, well, propped up to Craig Roffey, who put me onto the club to start with.
That's it.
Without him, I wouldn't be here tonight. It was only a spur of the moment. I decided to click on, go racing. I did one practice lap, a qualifying lap, and then to finish 9th, I'm over the moon. Like, I cannot believe I finished 9th.
Exactly. Hey, mate, I'm sensing there's some relation there with Craig, is there?
Yeah, it's my younger brother.
Okay, so there's at some point later on, there's going to be a Chris and Brendan Whitaker happening with Shane and Craig Roffey, the whole sibling rivalry thing. I can't wait. That's going to be all right. Every storyline, it just gets better and better here with the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club. Hey, Shane, well done as a first timer. You've just waltzed in and done essentially what a Trent Lavis would do. You do one lap, you do qualifying, you race and see how it all goes. You've done really well. Are you enticed by what we've seen tonight to come back for more?
Oh, definitely.
It's like a drug once you get started.
I know Craig's listening now.
Yeah.
Craig, look out. I'm coming for you in the V8, mate.
Oh, there we go. The challenge has been laid down, and it's only 40 minutes after. He's only had 40 minutes in a Mazda. Fantastic. I love it. He's confident. That's even better. 16-0 now in favour of Brisbane over Parramatta, by the way. The Eels supporters, my colleague at West Bromwich Radio is going to be very sour tomorrow morning if that doesn't go. Doesn't get turned around in the next 50 minutes or so. That's fantastic. Let's wrap the conversation. Grant, have we got you now, mate? Let's see if we've got Grant Gill. Still nothing from Grant's end there, so that's okay. Hey, Chris, now that you've got yourself, another notch under the belt for the Mazda MX-5s here. We've got Grant now. I'll come back to you in a sec, mate. I'll just go to Chris first. Hey, Chris, obviously preparations for the real racing stuff are hotting up as well. Are you enticed, since you're here, to stick around for IndyCar as a commentator or a driver? What's the plan for the rest of the night?
I've just connected. I managed to get out of the pits and through the southern loop until it kicked me off for qualifying. So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll jump out there shortly, do a lap or two, and see exactly how many tens of seconds I'm off the pace.
Looking forward to that. Come back and have a chat to us either during the race when you rage quit or post-race when you finish. Either way, mate, we're happy to have a chat with you on a Friday night. Good stuff. Well done on the win.
Chris, yeah, awesome, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Paul, I'm coming to you in a moment. I haven't forgotten. Grant Gill, while you're here, you went into the last corner 6th. You come out at the finish line 4th. Call that an exciting finish. What an anticlimax at the front of the field with Brenton Hobson and Lachlan Murphy going out on lap 1. But for you, the finish was the best thing about the night.
Indeed. I wish I could do that all the time on every corner, but it was fun. It was a great night. I was running, I think, 5th or 6th up front, and Nico was giving me plenty of curry, and we'd had a nice little exchange down the back straight there, and into the horseshoe, or into the big U-turn, whatever you want to call it. Left him a bit of room into the next sequence and got absolutely nailed. So I'm not sure who got me. Apologise. So all's good there. But that put me back a bit, and then it was recovery from there. But great night out.
Sensing that you don't mind the Mazda MX-5, mate.
Oh, look, I've said before, I like the underpowered cars because I'm forever spinning up the back wheels and just looping it around. So, I enjoyed the MX-5 tonight. Often it hasn't been a great relationship between me and an MX-5, but tonight all worked out well.
Indeed, it did. Now, I'm having trouble logging into the IndyCar session here, so let me see if I can do that before we go any further. There's about 29 cars standing by there. We're getting ready for a race very shortly, so everyone should be getting their drinks and their popcorn ready, because that IndyCar race over 47 laps is going to be an absolute cracker. On that note, Grant, thank you, mate. Appreciate that. It was interesting to note that Chris Whitaker doesn't mind the underpowered cars either. Because, well, let's face it, as we've seen, and it happens in the real world with the XLs and Formula V as well, the underpowered cars sometimes deliver the best entertainment. That was no exception tonight. Nico, I'm going to get your reflection on the race on the other side of the break. It's the Gentleman Sim Racing Club on a Friday night on SimShed Broadcasting, with thanks to Sharp Extensive I.T and, of course, Motorfocus, and also all of our other great sponsors as well, not least, of course, LJ Hooker Gaindar, Rockdale Volkswagen, Flash Graphics, Stone Cold Racing, Adam St. John, and the great people at the Wabundry Hotel, who should be drinking up after enjoying such a great piece of entertainment that was tonight. Ocular Aerial Photography, Grant Gillen, his great team there. Of course, Simple Sim Computers, and also Central Coast Motor Group, Fleet and Corporate. A break and back with round 7 of the IndyCars on the other side of this. Welcome back. Nice to have you company wherever you're tuning in to SimShed Broadcasting's coverage of Friday Night Motorsport, the doubleheader for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club, the 2-up as we call it, of course, and Anzac Day not too far away on that note. This is now the second leg of the doubleheader. Oriental Week is behind us. We've had fun with the Japanese circuits. It's been real Japanese flavour this week, no doubt about that. But we're now switching our attention to Australian shores, to Phillip Island, which is the home of TCR this weekend. So it's actually good timing to be at Phillip Island. And around 7 of the Sharp Extensive I.T Motorfocus Road to Indy Series. Zach Cabin in the commentary box alongside me is Paul Nichols. As I said, the A-team tonight, we've had Nick Fodiatis here. We've got Paul Nichols here. The A-team in action, which is good to see, with no offense to anyone else that does co-commentary. But, of course, we're talking about the originals here with Nick and Paul. Hey, Nico, firstly, well done on a superb drive to second in the Mazdas. Obviously, the one question that I'll get to with Chris Kisby a little bit later on, Chris Whitaker rather, I've seen Kisby on the screen there, I got distracted. Chris Whitaker later on is, of course, that it was basically a case of having a practice run, a training run, once the seas parted for him. And the same can be said for you as well, because you had 3 cars go off in the space of 5 seconds, and all of a sudden you went from 5th to 2nd and you stayed there.
Yeah, it was the old case of the old guy sitting back watching these young guys go at it and thinking, well, they're going to take each other out, and certainly did. So it was perfect. Yeah, the seas parted, and off I went, and had a really good battle up front there for the first 5 laps, and that was cracking fun, a bit of door banging, and but really respectful racing, and that's what we wanted. We wanted that. For Friday night racing, a little bit not as high pressure as most of our other series, so a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it, and happy to get home in P2, particularly with the quality of field.
All right, let's talk Phillip Island, because we are getting ready for a massive race here. 47 laps of the 4.45 kilometre circuit. So, I mean, we're pressing up towards the 250 kilometre mark tonight. It's going to be a big workout for these guys. I'll get you a proper race distance and all that information in just a moment. Cars getting ready on the grid here. The race not too far away. There is going to be a full roll-up lap, so we'll get a bit of time to roll through some information. The first information I want to get to is the championship standings. Nick Fodiatis on top on 158 points. Jackson Ray Hunter 154, Adam Lavis 145, and then Angus Cook on 100. Now, drop rounds will start playing a factor in the next couple of weeks as well, and that'll bring Cookie back into the equation because he's had his 2 drop rounds, so he will be sitting pretty as his 2 drop rounds will be 0. So Cook is a contender here. Julia Markey 98, Rick Vincent 94, 91 for Chris Stark, Brett Wilson 83. Josh Thomas, 69 and 68 for Bevan Moyes, and he should be back on the grid tonight, given that he is available for road course weeks, not over weeks. So if Bevan's out there, he's definitely a contender tonight. Now, as for the race information, I'm going to get the phone here and punch some numbers because, as we say, we know the circuit is 4.45 kilometres, or 445 kilometres rather. 47 laps. That brings us to 208.915 kilometres. So that gives you an indication as to how hard and fast these cars are going to be going this particular evening. The server itself, we are racing at the Victorian venue with a 50% fuel limit on these cars, which is going to be 10 lap bursts. So expect a 4, maybe 5 stop strategy depending upon where the safety car falls. That's going to be interesting. We'll get to that in just a moment. 3 tyre set limit as well. So there'll be a couple of pit stops there where they've got to choose whether or not to gamble with tyres. Weather, 4th of the 4th. So we're going into the future. We're on Easter Sunday here.
It's my birthday, by the way. It's my birthday.
There you go. Easter Sunday. How good. Yeah, exactly. It's Christmas. It's Christmas Day in Queensland because we'll be back in bloody sync with you lot now.
How can it be 30 degrees in Melbourne on the 4th of April?
Yeah. I reckon it's really stretching the truth in reality.
It's never been 30 degrees.
No, it's never been 30 degrees at Phillip Island, period, I don't think. 3:07 in the afternoon, and of course sunset there with daylight saving over on the 4th. The 4th brings it back. We won't have any drama with sunset like we did in Okayama, but the sunset time will be closer to 6 o'clock than it will be 7 o'clock. 38 on track, 30 in the sky, 3 kilometre northerly winds. That won't do anything. No. 1 hour, 5 minutes, or 47 laps, whichever comes first. Pace car speed 97 kilometres an hour. Pit lane speed 72 kilometres an hour. And the incident count penalties, 17x is where the first one will be applied, then every 7x thereafter. But if you get to 31x, out you go. You're DQ'd. You're kicked out the door. 2 fast repairs available to these cars. I think they might need him tonight. Let's have a look at the grid that's on your screen right now. Brady McHugh. Have a look at the times here, Nico. This is going to be a very fast race. 1 minute 14, if you don't mind, for Brady McHugh. So we won't have any problem with the time, certainly, I wouldn't think. 1:14.12 for Brady McHugh, 1:14.16 for Jackson Rayhana, and then a 3/10 gap back to Angus Cook and Bevan Moyes. Third row is Andre Youssef and Brett Wilson. Fourth row, Adam Lavis and Julian Mookie. Fifth row, John Simpson and Nick Fodiatis. Sixth row, Aidan Rice and Scott Rankin.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some quick times up front there, isn't there?
Oh,
it'll be interesting
phenomenal.
how they get through the first couple of turns. A few guys starting the pits by the look of it. They haven't set qualifying time. Just checking now.
Well, Nick said to us earlier there, Paul, he said it's going to be fast and dangerous tonight. He said, I've just got that feeling. Aaron Cooper from 13th, Joe Baldwin 14th, Gary Cousins and Chris Stark shared the 8th row, Josh Millard and Jared Daly the 9th row, Chris Whitaker and Matthew Dench the 10th row. He was wondering how far off the pace he'd be. The answer is 2.1 seconds. Rick Vincent, Frank Hodak, row 11. Then, of course, Jonathan Turner and Jason Dunn from row 12. Row 13 is where you find Jaden Schmidt and Phil Bissett. Row 14, Teo Serrano and Mark Smith. Row 15, Dylan Gray. And then Sebastian Spicer and Brett Selby-Wood from the back of the field. Jonathan Hancock is race control, so don't worry too much about that. We are getting set for start here. Do we have a new race winner being crowned tonight, or is it one of the guys that have already won a race so far this season, Nico? Bearing in mind that in the top 10 here, you've got McHugh that hasn't won a race yet. Rayhana, Cook and Moyes all have. Yusuf hasn't. Wilson hasn't. Lavis has. Mookie, Simpson and Fodiatis yet to get on the board either. Who wins in your opinion? Quickly.
It's a tough one. Geez. Putting on outside, I'm going to go Julian Mucky.
All right. Let's wait and see how all this plays out. We are getting set for start. It is the Sharp Extensive I.T. Road to Indy with thanks to Motorfocus, Friday Night Motorsport, leg 2 of the doubleheader, and Brady McHugh didn't waste any time in putting the foot to the floor and leading the field down towards Dillon Corner for the first time. Great start from McHugh. Look at Rayhana. Look at Cook and Moyes as well as they stretch to turn 1. Everybody safely through thus far. But they are going to fly around here. This is going to go very, very quick. You think you're talking about Formula 3 and also S5000 at Phillip Island this weekend in terms of pace. They've got nothing on the Indycars. And look at Andre Youssef flying down there on the inside early as well. To Honda they go. Nice, clean getaway. I'm actually really impressed with how fast they were off the line, Nico, and how clean they were as well. That was one big talking point. We were a bit concerned about how we'd get through the first few corners. They are fraught with danger at Phillip Island often.
Absolutely. Cold tyres. A lot of guys, I'm just checking the tyres on them. A lot of the guys up the front are on the red mark tyres, which are the soft compound. Just trying to see who's the first on the harder compound tyres.
So, no! Off goes Julian Mookie at MG.
He's been commentator's curse. Sorry, Julian.
Well, yeah, exactly. Good on you, Nico, already. It's only 1 lap old. We've already put the mocker on him. Brady McHugh leads the way. 1 lap in the books. Rayhana, Cook, Moyes. Then Yusuf, Wilson and Fodiatis, the top 7 at the island. Lap 2 of 47 for you. And by gee, it's a quick pace at the front. And the competition caution's really going to shake things up here. And what you're seeing too is a big discrepancy between the top and the tail of the field. Just look at that first lap. Brady McHugh, 118.2. 131.3 for Josh Millard. Jared Daly, Julian Mookie, both in the lane. Dylan Gray off track, Teo Serrano as well. There are a few guys that have only just got into the race. They're all up down. Schmidt, Hodak, Bissett, Smith, Gray and Serrano. So 29 starters. No Brett Selby-Wood, no Sebastian Spicer. But disappointing for the guys at the back. There's obviously been a server issue and they've only got let out onto the track after 1 lap. So already a lap down, which means they will be relying on that wave around behind the caution.
I'll run through who's got what on. So Brady's got the soft compound. Jackson's got the hard compound. Angus Cook's got the hard compound. Bevan Moyes is soft compound. Andre Youssef is the soft. Who else we got there? Nico Pop is on the hard compound. So that's your kind of top 6 there, top 7.
Bevan Moyes clocks the fastest lap of 15.01. Looking down the field, 15s, 16s, 17s, the order of the day. But yeah, the pace is electric at the front. There's no doubt about that. 19.8 for Turner, a 16.5 for Schmidt. And Frank Hodak an 18 as well. So 3.5 seconds between the top end of town and the bottom end of town here. That's why this field is as spread out as it is so early on. Bevan Moyes follows Angus Cook and Jackson Rayhana. They're trying to go with Brady McHugh at the moment, but he has bolted. He's 1.7 seconds up the road from Rayhana as they go through the hay shed one more time. McHugh, Rayhana, Cook. Is this the night that Brady McHugh finally gets the monkey off the back and gets a win in the IndyCar Series? We'll wait and see. Down to MG they come.
Race control. Looks like Nico Pop's got a drive-through.
Oh, no. Come on, Nick.
I think it might have been an incident with Julian, by the sound of it.
Oh, yeah, okay. That was, of course, at MG Corner there. So
yeah, might have just braked a bit too late and taken him out.
We only saw the live shot of that, and it was from the ocular shot, so I didn't quite see the contact. We might get a replay of that later on this evening. Here's Angus Cook and also Bevan Moyes. Moyes around the outside. What a move at turn one.
Fantastic move.
That's great driving from Bevan Moyes. He has set the standard as far as road course races are concerned here. A first and a second among his best results thus far. That was, of course, a win at Long Beach, a second at Sonoma. And now we are here at the Island, and Brady McHugh is out to make it 6 different winners in 7 weeks here and 4 different winners on road courses. Let's have a look at this replay. This is Julian Mukian and also our own Nick Vodiatis up to Lukey Heights. Oh, sorry. Now, contact, all right. And Nick lost the wheel and all of that.
Yeah. I think they were trying to avoid it, but just couldn't avoid it, yeah.
Of course, they were going over Lukey Heights to run down to MG Corner, and it was in the braking zone where the contact was made. Unfortunate, but that's life. Nick will look to regroup from that, of course. He'll rely on the safety car to get back in the game. No safety car in the first 5 laps or the last 10 of these road course races. And because it is a road course, we'll just have the one course car interventions tonight, but we will have 4 pit stops at least, maybe a 5th for these guys along the way. So plenty of strategy to play out here at the Island tonight. We've got our eyes on Matthew Dench there in 13th at the moment. McHugh, Rayhana, Moyes, Cook and Wilson, the top 5, and Laver sits 6th right now. And it looks like Rayhana's got breathing space. Bevan Moyes has a breathing space as well. And here comes Andre Youssef right around the outside, trying to fend off John Simpson. He's not been able to do that just yet, but he's going to have the inside run when they get down to Honda Corner. Can he get the job done? And the answer is yes. Youssef goes through into position number 7. John Simpson relegated to 8, then Scott Rankin and Aaron Cooper. Chris Kisby's in the commentary box for the first time this evening. Good evening.
Good evening there, Zach. Good evening, Nick. Good evening, JP. Just a bit, don't know whether that message came through on your stream, but I did send one. We have car 99, drive-through contact on car 39, causing spin
Copy
and
that.
damage.
Oh, spinner in the background as well.
Okay, you're all up to date.
That was Chris Whitaker. Thank you, Chris Kisby. Appreciate that. We were aware of Nick's penalty, but thanks for the clarification on that. Contact with Julian Mookie, and we'll wait for you to check back in with us as the evening goes on, mate. Thank you.
No worries, guys.
Chris Kisby doing a great job, whether it's in the commentary box on the racetrack or in race control. He's Mr. Everywhere. Oh, no, don't tell me. That's Rayhana. Is it? No, Cook or hang on. I'm just seeing one of the Summit SimSport names plummet down the field. It's Josh Millard, I think, that's had the off-track excursion there. Cooper and Dench also running off circuit as well. So Cooper and Dench in trouble. There's been a bit going on whilst we're getting that update from Chris Kisby. So it wasn't Rayhana and it wasn't Cook. Thank you. Sorry to give them guys a scare. But yes, one of the Summit SimSport boys was sitting on the grass on the exit of MG there. And it's an off-camber corner, isn't it? I mean, it's such a tricky one, Nico, because you get over Lukey Heights and then the car's all unbalanced, and we see again there off circuit for Jason Dunn. You just get unsettled through that section of the circuit, and then these cars, given the speed they carry, I'm not surprised to see that's a trouble point tonight already.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a trouble point around Phillip Island. It's one of those corners you need to be really consistent. Oh, wow. Okay.
All right, Aaron Cooper's just got served up there. Wow. Unfortunate. Jaden Schmidt. And this was him having a taily moment, but he's okay. Adam Lavis. Now, I was going to say, too, Chris Whitaker's already had an off-track at Honda Corner. You saw him in the background spinning around a couple of seconds ago. before Chris Kisby came into the commentary box. Now, everything couldn't have gone more perfect for him in the Mazda, and then everything's turned for him in the IndyCar already. I'm looking forward to his review of this, actually, at the end of the broadcast. Here's Adam Lavis on the inside.
What two totally different cars to drive, though? Like,
well, that's right. Scott Rankin off the circuit. Adam Lavis goes through. Rankin goes round. And Brady McHugh's off track as well. Just as that happened to Scott Rankin, Brady McHugh's off the circuit. Here's a flash graphics flashback, and this will be Brady McHugh. This is coming up towards the hay shed. Out of Siberia. Oh, no. No, lap traffic. Lap traffic.
Looks like Dylan Gray's got involved in that.
Dylan Gray, and that's exactly what happened earlier, Nico, in the race with Brenton Hobson and Lachlan Murphy in the Mazdas. Very similar. Grass, race cars, not a good mix.
Yeah, just really unfortunate, really unfortunate. I'm sure Dylan would feel pretty shattered about that. He did say sorry in comms, so...
And for the second week in a row, Brady McHugh, his luck runs out in IndyCar. I mean, fair income. He's meant to win one of these races eventually. It just might not be tonight. And now, Mr. Reliable's out in front. Have a look at this. Jackson Rayhana, he wears his heart on his sleeve with these IndyCars. He was disappointed last week. You sense that in everything he said in the post-race show and everything he said since in every interview we've had. He's taken this really seriously. And he leads at the moment from Brett Wilson. Brett Wilson hasn't won a race yet this season, but the three around him have. Andre Youssef is 5 seconds behind Bevan Moyes, who is the fourth car in shot there, but he hasn't won a race. Adam Lavis has won two of them. Gary Cousins yet to win a race. John Simpson, Scott Rankin, the list goes on. Rick Vincent yet to win a race in the IndyCars. Off the circuit there, another one. That Julian was Julian Mookie, yeah. Jared Daly's also off the track somewhere as well. I mean, this is just madness.
Push the path, Brett.
Now there's a couple of things as well. This is what we've been trying to get to. You mentioned the tyres. The other important thing to note with road courses is Brett Wilson just blasts around the outside of Rayhana and goes to the race lead on lap 9 of 47. That's the interesting point. With road course races, two differences to the ovals, apart from the fact that you've got to turn right as well as left. One is the reliance on the tyres. You've got the red. Yes, you got the red. You got the red walls and you got the black tyres as well. But in saying that, you've also got push to pass, which is a great component of the old Champ Car days that's been brought across to IndyCar and embraced by all. And it's a pivotal part of a lot of these road course races as we watch Jason Dunn squeeze down there on the inside of Josh Millard, who was that car off circuit earlier that we're talking about over at MG. So push to pass and also tyre strategy makes for an exciting night at the office, Nico.
Absolutely, yeah. Push to pass. I think they have 10 for the race, I believe. Nico was saying
that's
earlier.
right.
Yeah, 10 for
So
the
that's
race,
interesting, isn't it? Oh, no! Round goes Dunn! Dunn got a clip there.
Damage as well.
Dunn got a clip from the car behind. And that'll be with damage too, so that's not good for him. Meanwhile, Rayhana, Cook, and Cousins all in the lane. All in the lane. First round of pit stops for these guys. And that car of Jason Dunn's is going to crab the pit lane. Or go the fast escape. Go on. Yep. See you later. Thanks for the toe job. Oh, yeah. He's Bevan Moyes off the circuit as well while we look at the flash graphics flashback. This is the Dunn incident. Now, watch that car on the outside. Bang.
Yeah, just on the outside. It's probably just hit the curb. It hasn't been able to brake in time. And, it flipped him.
I missed who that car was, by the way. But, yeah, at least we got it right. There was contact. Now, Fodiatis, Vincent, and Simpson all in as well. We were aware that it was going to be 9 or 10 laps. 10 laps to a stint, 10 push to passes. So the number 10 fairly prevalent here tonight. And 10 laps to a stint is interesting because that brings you into an ultimate conundrum of, well, we're going to have to perform 4 stops. It's just a matter of do we break it up? Because
also, another interesting point with the number 10 is who gridded number 10? Oh, Nico Pop. Who's in position 10? Oh, Nico Pop.
Yep. Exactly. And who's already had a drive-through penalty? Nico Pop. So that's the only reason he's probably still sitting 10th, to be honest with you. There's Nick Vardiatis now. He's 9th. Have a look at that. Got by. because Jaden Schmidt's had a little bit of an off-track run. Scott Rankin's off the circuit as well. There's cars going everywhere here at the moment, folks. Very hard to keep up with what's going on here. But it's been good fun so far. 13 minutes in, we're on lap 10. Brett Wilson's in the lane, Bevan Moyes and Adam Lavis as well. And Brett Wilson's got back out on the racetrack in between Jackson Rayhana and Angus Cook. Well done, Brett Wilson. Nick Fodiata sitting there in 8th right now. So he's still in the mix here. Don't worry about that. Definitely still in the mix. And the seas have parted. Like Brady McHugh's out. There's he's back down in 16th. There's a few others that have run into trouble. So it's actually worked out not too badly for Nick, that the drive-through penalty that he's had has not cost him too much in the greater scheme of things.
Well, he's 24 seconds off the lead at the moment. So, yeah, he's definitely in for, I mean, this is a long race. So if you're on the lead lap, I think you still got a chance.
You just reminded me of something. I forgot to mention to everybody. Pace car speed 97, pit lane speed 72 k's an hour tonight. That's a weird speed, really, for pit lane. Can we just round it back to 70 or round it up to 80, please? I mean, fair income. Hey, Rayhana, Cook, Wilson. See, this is the problem with the US. They deal in pre-metric. They deal in shilling and pound and, you know, nickels and all that sort of stuff. And then they deal in miles and inches and feet and all that sort of stuff. And we went metric more than 40 years ago. 1973, I think, was when the 1000 became the 1000. It went from 500 miles to 1,000 kilometers. And so we've been metric for a while here. And the US, the supposed world leader, is stuck back in the 18th, 19th century with Queensland. It's lovely, isn't it? Rayhana, Cook, Wilson, and Cousins, the top four at the moment.
What's the conversion rate between the New South Wales dollar and the Queensland pound, by the way?
Yeah, I'll let you know when I find out. I'm actually really surprised that we actually have modern currency up here, if I'm honest with you, given that we like all the other 18th and 19th century concepts. Anyway. Oh, no, Brett Wilson's come undone. Angus Cook goes through, and Brett Wilson, who had a terrific opening stint, he's now become a victim of turn 4 as well. And also in front of him, the car there that's lap traffic, I think, has also. Was that Rick Vincent? It looked like Rick Vincent. Yeah, that's Rick Vincent. So he's off the circuit as well. You'll be surprised to learn. Actually, no, you won't. There's only 15 drivers on the lead lap, still according to my sheet here.
Correct. Yep.
Unbelievable. Just carnage here so far. Angus Cook sits second. Look who's first. Jay Rayhana. And every Wednesday night he follows Cookie around. Every Friday night it feels like Cookie's following him around.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously they're teammates, so they'll be strategizing outside. They're probably working on fuel numbers as well. And I think Nico was kind of indicating you could. It depends on how long the safety car stays out for. You could do a 3-stopper. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. If they're saying 10 laps to a stint, for mine, that's, you know, simple. 10, 20, 30, 47 lap stint home. Or, alternatively, you can pit early for that last stop and stretch it out to a 10-lap stint. You don't want to do any more than 10 because in the last 10, you want to be going hard. You don't want to be trying to fuel save. Good news for Parramatta supporters. They're on the road back. 16-4 in favour of Brisbane at the moment. The Eels have just gone in their first try of the night, which if they can salvage a win out of that, will keep my good tipping rate alive and also make for a happy colleague tomorrow morning on West Bremer Radio. So I'm all for Parramatta at the moment, as much as I'd like to see Brisbane not get bombarded with wooden spoons this year.
Well, we don't want Parramatta getting the wooden spoon again, do we?
Well, Parramatta, the wooden spoon doesn't worry me. Brisbane, if they get the wooden spoon again, I don't think Queensland Rugby League will survive, because last year it had an absolute meltdown with wooden spoons being purchased and pelted on grass on their training field. You would never see so many wasted wooden spoons in your life.
Their team on paper was fantastic, though, wasn't it? And had some great talent, but it's couldn't put together.
No ability, yeah, unfortunate. To convert the form guide on field. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Rayhana, Cook, Wilson, Cousins, and Moyes, the top 5, lap 14 and 47 for you. Friday Night Motorsport with thanks to Sharp Extensive IT and Motorfocus on SimShed Broadcasting, and also the Gentleman Sim Racing Club broadcast page on Facebook, which is nearing 450 likes, I might add, Nico. So the audience for the broadcast page on Facebook is notching up, it's notching up nicely. Hey, just quietly, as Parramatta convert the goal, and it's 16-6 now. Memberships, obviously, the young Roffies come in today, the numbers would be above 470 now, would they not?
Yeah, look, I haven't looked recently, but yeah, we're putting to 480. We're aiming towards 500, I think, within the next couple of months would be fantastic. So,
Hey, you know me, everyone's welcome. The more the merrier.
absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. And the more memberships, the closer we are to that house on Mount Panorama.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all you know, I mean, all the resources coming together. We'd have to have our own version of Tent City.
Absolutely.
You'd be trying to accommodate 2,000 people in the space that
Well,
only,
asking
well,
for
at the moment, about 4 people would be allowed into, given COVID restrictions and all that.
2.4 million or something? Is that what they're asking for?
Yeah, something ludicrous that I will never have in my bank account at all, unless I win Powerball or Oz Lotto or something. But there was a motion going around to, if the club bought the house, have me as caretaker on the property, which given the given the ammunition I've always had to move back to Bathurst, I'd take in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
But given that all my work's up in Queensland, it'd get back to the point where I'd be flying out more than in. Anyway, hey, lap 15 here. Competition caution falls sometime between lap 5 and 37. And, of course, as we say, the last 10 laps go green. The first 5 laps go green. And when it's a road course, we have just one competition caution. We've had reason to have a safety car tonight with a couple of the shunts we've had, particularly that one involving Brady McHugh. But we've gone green all the way thus far.
I think race control look at if the track is blocked, then they'll throw the safety car. And this track is very open. Yeah, very open. So I mean, cars will get off track and they'll move out of the way unless the track is completely blocked, and they won't call one.
Hey, you want some good news here, Paul? 16:10 with the kick to come. Car off circuit 2. Eels are on the fight back on the charge here. And they've gone back to back tries. So 16:10. Happy day.
How much time we got left?
30 minutes to go.
In with a chance, definitely.
In with a definite chance, although video referees might get in the way of it. But it says 16:10 on the leaderboard. They've already ordered a try, but now, see, this is part of the new rules, part of, fixing what isn't broken, trying to, outdo yourself just to annoy your fans and spectators and paying customers. They're looking at something that happened back on the 40-metre line before they decide whether they're actually going to allow the try or not.
Yep.
Fair dinkum. Anyway, down the main straight, Trucker Joe Baldwin had a good run in Gateway until he come unstuck and clouded the wall, but sits there in 19th at the moment, doing a nice job. Good to have your company wherever you're tuning in. Good feedback coming through on socials as well. The last being from Craig Roffey, who will take the challenge up to his brother and said, just bring it on. And that's, looking forward to that sibling rivalry that's very, very best. Now, Baldwin's doing a nice job here, trying to get up there on the inside of Chris Stark, who is buried in the pack at the moment. I forget that Starkey's part of the Summit Sim Sport team at times. There's that many of them, it's hard to keep up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Summit Sim Sport has just exploded this year.
Also,
it's like a full room of kindergarteners, because everyone's had to put in an application, and the room's just growing to a point where they'll reach capacity and they'll be like, sorry, we're out.
That's right.
Anyway, 21.5 minutes gone, lap 17 of 47 here. So what's that? 17, 34. We could easily get 51 laps in if we wanted to in the time that's left, but no, it is just simply a 47-lap race. 30 to go after this one is complete, and Rayhana in nice form. Cook, Moyes, Cousins, Fodiatis, and Ravis the top 6. Then Rankin, Simpson, Vincent, and Wilson. And in the commentary box with us now is Chris Kisby. Some updates from race control, please, good sir.
Yeah, we've got a couple there, mate. 09 and 035 we classify as a racing incident. Both drivers at fault. They've moved off their line. Lap 7, 002 and 6, a racing incident. Unfortunately, Dylan hit the grass. He was on ice skates, and Brady
had nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Nobody was at fault there apart from Dylan going onto the grass, so you can't penalise you for that. 939, we had a racing incident. Both moved off their line. 183, a drive-through on 124, contact causing a spin. He got a drive-through. 124 got a drive-through on that one. And then the last incident we had was 124 and 121 on lap 8. They both our screens went blank, and we have not been able to see the incident, so that will be post-race.
Copy that.
Thank you, mate.
Good old tech failures getting into race control.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. It happens on the long courses sometimes.
I see you've got Braden Adolf in there with you tonight as well, doing some driver learning. Is he from race control?
He is doing some some race control training, so we'll just have to wait and see how he pans up. He'll go through all the processes of training and accreditation with 247, and see how he goes. He will
Chris.
not be in race control for a gentleman's, I tell you.
Chris.
Same as me.
Yep.
Chris, just a quick question. With the safety car, are there going to be wave rounds for cars on lap down?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right.
for that.
So a lot of wave around
there will
coming
be
up.
one rave around, and as stated, there is only one safety car in this whole race.
Yeah, okay. So everyone on lap
Yeah.
down will get a wave round, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, copy that. Thank you.
What about those that are 2 and 3 laps down, Chris? Because we've got a couple that are 2 laps down.
They will get one lap back.
Copy that.
Okay.
Easy done.
Thank you.
So we'll go through the field once, and then
No.
that'll be it.
Jaden Schmidt has just gained a position there because actually it might have been lap traffic that's gone off the circuit there. My apologies. A lot happening out there at the moment, but we have got one car off in the dirt.
Just hang in here for a sec. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, okay, mate, no worries. Pit stop time. Actually, perfect timing because Jackson Rayhana's in, Angus Cook is in, Rick Vincent's
look
in.
at
All as Paul Nichols goes for a pit stop as well of a different kind. And here's Julian Mookie in 17th at the moment. On the, that's obviously not Rick Vincent out there in front of him. Every time I see a yellow car, I automatically think Rick Vincent. For a very obvious reason. And it is Matthew Dench tonight. Also running a yellow car.
It is.
Kisby, from a race control standpoint, from a commentary standpoint, you must be impressed with what you've seen in IndyCar. It's fast become the go-to series on a Friday night, let alone across the week as far as the GSRC is concerned. Numbers for Phillip Island have been superb. A big improvement on Gateway.
It is, mate. It is. And the racing is really good. We've been watching the guys. They've been reading the race notes. A couple of little incidents, which is unfortunate, but some of them could be avoided, some of them can't. It's just the way it goes in racing.
Indeed.
I'll get back to it.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Let's continue on here. We're waiting for the caution, the competition caution that will really shake things up in this race, maybe make or break as well, because we saw that last week, didn't we? That really changed things up with where that fell. It really became a strategy game to get home on 2 stops or 3 at Gateway. And in the end, there were a couple of drivers that were able to pull that off successfully, namely Adam Lavis and Nick Fodiatis, although Nick pitted 1 lap later than he needed to, or earlier, I should say, than he needed to actually get that done. Here's Jackson Rayhana, and there's Nick Fodiatis in 7th at the moment. So Rayhana, Cook, Lavis, Bevan Moy's in for his 2nd stop right now. Lavis continuing on. He has not pitted yet for the 2nd time. He is due for another stop very shortly, no doubt. But the fact that he's been able to get 11 laps out of this stint is impressive. And that could be the difference at the end of the night. There's Bevan Moy's coming back out on the racetrack in 7th. Scott Rankin is 8th. Brett Wilson is 8th, rather. Scott Rankin is 5th at the moment. So at the moment, we've got Rankin and Maverick Lavis, of course, yet to stop a 2nd time. Everyone else inside the top 10, with the exception of Josh Millard, who is 10th, have completed their 2nd stop. Jaden Schmidt's been in 3 times. So too Frank Hodak. John Simpson twice. And looking down the order, most other people have completed 2 or 3 pit stops along the way here. So just, therefore, Rankin, Lavis, and Millard yet to stop a 2nd time. So there will be some pit stops still to come on the back end of lap 21 here. We have Jackson Rayhana going onto the main straight. He is the race leader. 2nd is Cook. 3rd is Lavis. Lavis in the lane now. Cousins, Rankin, Fodiatis, Moyes, Wilson, Whitaker, and Miller, the top 10. Schmidt is 11th. So this is really good to watch. Round they come onto the main straight one more time. So we've got Bevan Moyes there, the Queensland-based Kiwi, as we established 2 weeks ago. Lap 22, 28 minutes into the race. He starts lap 22 now. He moves up into 6th with Lavis still in the lane. Lavis is on his way out in 7.6 seconds. There's Scott Rankin having a good run. He'll be happy. He'll be really happy, Scott Rankin, if he can stay there tonight. And I'm really surprised. He's the only one in the field that has got 2 11-lap stints away here. He's put 2 11-lap stints away. Now, it could all come undone with where this safety car falls, and it might undo his hard work with strategy play here, but he has put in some fantastic stints. Bevan Moyes off the circuit quickly as well. He didn't lose any positions, but he does lose some track time. And we've got Rankin here in 4th. So 2 11-lap stints for him. And that's not going to get you home on anything less than 4 stops, but depending upon how you're playing the strategy game and how much fuel you can save under the safety car, which is only going to be 3, at most 4 laps, you may just be able to save enough to turn it into a 4-stop, into a comfortable 4-stop rather than a splash and dash for a 5th under the safety car. And I'm thinking a few drivers might do the splash and dash under the safety car for the sake of tyres mainly. We'll wait and see. Rankin has gone around again. Rankin is fuel saving. There's definite tactics at play here. Well, let's play devil's advocate here. Hate using that term, but it's the only thing I can do. He is fuel saving big time. There goes Fodiatis by into 4th. Rankin's going by. This is a 12-lap stint from him. And this, if he can get 2 12-lap stints out of the car between lap 24 and 30, the end of 35, 36 to 47, he could do this on 3 stops, but it's going to require, as you see here, a lot of fuel saving. Last time round, 1 minute 19.4, Fodiatis 1:16.9, so 2.5 seconds difference. I mean, that's a big chunk of fuel saving. And I got this, oh, geez, that was hairy at the top of the hill. He's got a car going up his inside. He's run out of fuel, I think. I think Rankin's run out of fuel, and that's why he's limping back to the lane. So the strategy play backfires for Scott Rankin because he's lost a chunk of time here. Otherwise, if he had just played the strategy game like everybody else and conceded defeat on this being a 4-stop race, this wouldn't happen. So he's brought himself undone here. He's in the lane now. He will get to his box. He'll fuel up, but he's going to drop a chunk of time. Oh, Jackson Rayhana. We've got him on screen at the moment, but we've got something happening in the background potentially that we need to have a look at. We'll wait and see on that. Rayhana, Cook, Cousins, Fodiatis, Lavis. So both Rankin and Moyes are in. That's unscheduled for Moyes. That's a 3rd pit stop for Bevan Moyes. So whatever happened off circuit on the last lap, because we did mention that he had an off track, this is not good news for Bevan Moyes. He's in the lane. He's got a broken front wing. That's why. He's got no front wing. Bevan Moyes out of business here. Oh, geez, that was hairy. Good work. Everyone getting through there, okay. 3 wide through MG is not something I'd recommend any other day of the week, let alone year. Jackson Rayhana, Angus Cook, Gary Cousins, Nick Fodiatis, and Adam Lavis, the top 5. Everyone's completed their 2nd round of pit stops, but Chris Whitaker's in for his 2nd stop now. Might be 3rd, actually. But Bevan Moyes has slipped down to 11th, and Scott Rankin has dropped down to 7th. And there are a lot of drivers now a lap down in this contest. And that's the big problem with IndyCar. As much as we love these road races, so many drivers still trying to get up to speed here. So we end with very few drivers on the lead lap, which isn't a good reflection of how awesome this series has been. We're past halfway. Lap 25, 24 in the book, 23 to go. We're past halfway. Rayhana leads from Cook. Cousins is 3rd, having a tremendous run here. And Fodiatis is 4th. They could be fuel saving as well because we're waiting for this caution to come. We are waiting for caution competition caution to arrive here, and if it arrives at the right time, I tell you what, predicament if it arrives around lap 31, lap 32, because there's no way, even with fuel saving, you're getting 15 laps out of the stint. Scott Rankin's just proven that. Paul Nichols is back in the commentary box. What are your observations so far?
Yeah, I'm looking at Gary Cousins. As we know, Gary Cousins is a teammate or ex-teammate with Nico Pop. Actually, it's still teammates, sorry. Yeah, teammates together. I'm sure they've probably worked out a strategy. So with fuel, Nick doesn't know the safety car number when the safety car is going to be called. It's a random number that's called by race control. So, yeah, I mean, I think out of those top 5 at the moment, we have Adam Maverick in there, who's won 2 of the IndyCar races so far this season. So, geez, that top 5's pretty intense.
Indeed it is.
Yes.
And Adam Lavis in the lane on lap 26 here. Ray Hunter leads from Cook, Cousins, Fodiatis, and Lavis. He's got damage to the car as well as Adam Lavis, the man that's won 2 races so far this season, in trouble. And that's a fast repair being used for him and burnt very quickly right there. So Ray Hunter's going to put Lavis a lap down. So everyone from 5th back has dropped a lap to Jackson Ray Hunter. Angus Cook, Gary Cousins, and Nick Fodiatis 2, 3, and 4. So Bailey Ladders, Dial Before You Dig team doing well in 3rd and 4th. The Summit SimSport entries doing well 1st and 2nd at the moment. This is good contest. This is good competition. Rick Vincent in the thick of it as usual. In the black and yellow, the distinct black and yellow. 21 to go. Really good contest here, but obviously there are a lot of people hanging out for this safety car now, Nico, because they're going to get a lap back. And that brings with it an element of risk as well, because once that safety car pulls in, no more excuses, no more opportunities, no more second chances. You're going to have to fight for survival to the finish. So every overtaking maneuver, every corner, every thing is absolutely paramount. You will not be able to make a mistake here, or otherwise you're going to pay dearly, as we've already seen tonight. In other news, Parramatta have just leveled the score at 16-all with a kick to come at Suncorp. So it was 16-0 in favour of the Broncos. The Eels are on a comeback, like you haven't seen before. Now, have a look at this as well. We get the Stone Cold Racing entry on the screen of Frank Hodak. How good does Stone Cold Racing livery look? Fantastic. In fact, to be fair, Nico, we mention this all the time. So much tremendous preparation goes into the presentation of these cars, let alone the driving talent behind them.
Absolutely. I mean, Flash Graphics is one of our contributors to the club. Flash John Simpson is Flash Graphics. He's in P7 at the moment, so John's doing well. So John is Flash Graphics, and he's contributed a lot to the members and helping out with liveries. And Stone Cold Racing is Flash Graphics liveries, and a lot of team members do as well.
All right, have a look at this. Bevan Moyes, he's up there on the inside of Frank Hodak. Moyes to 8th. Can he take Vincent with him? No, Hodak's going to fight back on the inside. Hodak, nicely done there. And now look at this. Moyes trying to fight and hustle and bustle and muscle his way through. But he can't. Oh, contact! Moyes into Hodak. Moyes into Hodak on the run into Siberia. And we know that Bevan's a clean racer. We know that wouldn't have been intentional, Nico. All he would have been trying to do is get up on the inside for Siberia. But Hodak's come across and just chopped the line there and said, mate, you're going to have to work harder than that. Unfortunately, Hodak's paid the price.
Yeah, Frank's just asked race control to look at that. He's a little bit upset, unfortunately. So,
really?
Race control.
I'm not really surprised by that.
No, not at all.
Oh, dear. How good's this? On the run down the main straight, lap 29 of 47. This has been terrific stuff. If you haven't enjoyed the IndyCars so far this season, where have you been? You're very difficult to please. Friday Night Motorsport delivering the goods, and Parramatta have hit the lead at Suncorp with a conversion from the sideline. It is 18-16 in favour of the Eels. Live updates as Friday Night Football continues for you. The Knights got the job done over the Bulldogs earlier, and don't forget the AFL's back next week. So
15 to go in that match?
No, 20 to go. 19 and a half. Let's call it 19 and a half. You know what the worst thing is, Nico? I love my footy, but the fact that it is back, just like when the cricket and the tennis was on, it's going to take away from our audience. Unless people do the side-by-side thing and have the big TV on us and the little TV on the footy, or vice versa, whichever way you want to play it. As long as you're still watching the Gentleman's Sim Racing Club on a Friday night, because this stuff is well worth the price of admission. And I really hope that we get it. I mean, the stock cars will hopefully generate some good numbers next season while we wait for IndyCar to come back in League 3 of Season 3 of the 4 that we're doing this year. But if we can strike a broadcast deal for stock cars, we'll be back on a Friday night next season, as well as we build up to another season, possibly 2 of IndyCar in the second half of the year. But for stock car regulars who've been with us every Friday night last year, we've got stock cars in action for next season. Season 2, it's getting underway mid-April after the Easter break, and taking you right through to the end of June. And I've seen the calendar for the stock cars. It is an absolute perler. Now, Rayhana and Cook have pitted. Their third pit stop of the race. They're back out on the racetrack. Rayhana still leads. It's 5 seconds back to Angus Cook. Gary Cousins has also pitted that time around. Nick Vodiatis is still circulating his 29th lap. So it's a big margin from first all the way back to fourth at the moment, but they are the ones on the lead lap right now. And in fact, I think Adam Lavis is going to get his 5th lap back. Chris Kisby's dropping by to tell us about the incident between Frank Hodak and Bevan Moyes.
That's the one. How did you guess on that, mate? Incident between 6'11" and 20. Yeah, car number 20, definitely a fault. Contact causing spin to 6'11", so drive through for car 20.
I just had an inkling that that's what you were coming in for, Kisby. I don't know why.
I had just said in race control, what a beautiful passing, or they both went round that first corner nicely.
Yep.
And then they got to the next one and broke too late.
Oh, no,
Anyway,
more trouble. Well, you're back to work, Kisby. More Brett Wilson and someone else. Chris Whittaker's been caught up in all that as well. He's off track.
Brett Wilson's lost the wheel.
And Brett Wilson's lost the wheel. He's in the gravel at Siberia. Julian Mookie's off the circuit as well. It's all gone to hell at Phillip Island. And we've gone 31 laps without our competition caution. And I've just got this feeling, Paul Nichols, it's got to be soon, but it's going to leave everybody in this field with a real dicey conundrum. We know that 11 laps is doable. We know that 12 isn't. And then you got to factor in how much you can save under the caution, because if it doesn't come soon, there's going to be a splash and dash in that last 10, and all of a sudden it's going to turn everything into a 5-stop race.
Well, I'm thinking it's going to take them the race control quite a while to filter these cars through. So it wouldn't surprise me it's a double safety car. We might have maybe 6 laps under safety car.
No, I don't think it'll be 6, but it could well be 4, because normally if they do extend the caution, it's only for 1 lap.
Okay,
So if it's 3 laps is the normal, they've got a lot of cars to get through. They don't want to be restarting this race, and hopefully Kisby will help the guys in race control with this. They don't want to be restarting the race while everyone's still trying to get back around to the tail of the field. If that means they have to go around on a 4th lap, so be it. We're here all night. You know, price of admission is good. And the quality's been fantastic. The entertainment factor of that last 10 laps will be far better. Chris Whittaker's in the green room, so let's just bring him in for a moment. Wait there, Mr. Whittaker. We'll get to you in just a moment. Good to have you aboard again. Sooner than expected, but still, that's okay. But this is the problem, Nico. When you get to that last 10 laps, you want the field bunched up. You want some excitement. So if they do have to run the caution for 4 laps, so be it. And that's going to help out everyone with regards to fuel. I've got a feeling that the safety car is going to come out 32, 33, 34. I don't think it'll be thrown 35 or 36, because that's too late, because then that gets into the last 10 laps that are meant to be running green. So it has to be somewhere before then. And that is going to really spice up the strategy play here. There will be some serious fuel saving going on at the tail end of this race. Mark my words. We've got some good guests lined up in the commentary box here, and I hope they're going to stick around for the rest of the race as well.
Yellow.
And there's the yellow, 32. But now we have a conundrum. Wow. Now we have a real serious conundrum. Lap 30, so 32, so 33, 4, 5, potentially 36 as well. And the race is going to restart with 11 laps to go. I've got a feeling that there's going to be a splash and dash in the last 3 or 4 laps here, because we know that 11 laps is fine for a tank. Scott Rankin proved that you can't get 12 out of it with all the fuel saving in the world. And we know that you can only save a certain amount under safety cars. So the field's going to get behind the safety car now, led by Jackson Rayhana. The lap cars from 6th down are going to be led around Josh Millard down. They're going to be led around here at some point once the field's in order and in control. And then hopefully the field will be tightly bunched up, ready for an epic restart here. And we know that there could be a sting in the tail. Chris Whitaker and Chris Stark. It's Chris Squared in the commentary box with us for the next short while. I hope you're going to stick around for the next 15-minute laps or so, gentlemen, because why wouldn't you? I mean, this has been phenomenal stuff all season. And Starky, unfortunately for you, I'm going to start with you and then we'll get to old entree winner in just a moment. Starky, the season started beautifully for you. You haven't got back to victory lane since. What happened tonight?
I'm down at Dale's place, and his wife was lovely enough to share me her sim.
Well, that's
Completely
good.
different gear, completely different seating position. It's taken me a little bit to get used to. Yeah, just not enough time in this seat.
Fair
But
enough.
I'm grateful to Dales and his lovely wife for hosting me.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
what a club friends for, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly right. And that just goes to show, Paul, Nick, because we've been talking about the camaraderie of the club right throughout the time that we've been broadcasting, and it's coming up on 11 months now that we've been doing this. Can you believe it?
Oh, wow.
It feels like 11 years, but it's been 11 months. But the camaraderie extends off the track as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's awesome. I saw that Chris posted up today. He was heading down to Dale's, had the caravan hooked up, and yeah, great to see that Chris has been able to jump in Vanessa's sim. And you know what they say, Chris? A good tradesman never blames their tools. But anyway,
The traction was not good. Like the tyres are going away really fast. You get about 5 laps in the tyres, and then they're done.
yeah.
Listen to old mate that just had the waterways pathways cleared for him earlier, just serving up sledging advice to start. Fantastic stuff from Paul Nichols.
You know, he said
now-
he's coming to Melbourne. I'll put him in my sim and see how he goes.
Yeah, exactly. Rayhana, Cook, Cousins, Fodiatis, and Lavis the top 5. And Josh Millard there in 6th. And now that I've got myself a gaming laptop, everyone's saying, we need to have a celebrity race and get Zach in. No, I'm okay in the commentary box. Thank you very much. Chris Whitaker, what happened to you? Because you said that you were expecting to be about 10 seconds behind. You were only 2, so you were a fifth of the way there. But then we got stuck into the race. Things were going so well. What happened to bring it all undone?
I ran out of talent at the end. That's what happened there. So,
Well, did you use too much of it in the first part of the
He
evening?
must have.
yeah, maybe. I think that's the first road course race I've done in these cars. So before this, I've only driven the IndyCar around the ovals when we were doing the practice runs for this series at the end of last season. So, and I did one race then. So they're cool. I like it. Good fun. But yeah, I had a bit of a rub with Trucker Joe there. Whatever lap that was, I think I've only done 2 races with him, and both times we've come together. So 100% record there. Racing incident this time, not me taking him out. So, but yeah, and then we got caught up. Someone else had a spin, and lap car jumped on the brakes for no apparent reason. I hit him up the date, but yeah, so that's my 2 fast repairs, and then I just had a big brain fart and threw the thing into the bin in Lukey Heights. So that was me. But what I'm interested here is if we've got a 4-lap safety car,
Yes.
anyone going to go in on the next lap, sacrifice track position, but then maybe not have to save as much juice. That's what I'd be doing.
That's exactly right. No, I like your thinking, and this is the thing, Nico, isn't it? Because we've been sitting here talking about this all night. If we are going to have a 4-lap safety car, and I'm waiting for that call in my earpiece, I know it's coming at some point because they're still trying to wave everyone around, and they're not going to be bunched up fairly quickly here, or as quickly as they normally would be. So I'm waiting for that little memo on the iRacing stat board to come through. Caution has been thrown, and that'll give us an extra lap. That's going to give us 12 laps of racing or 11 laps of racing at the most. And if you do go in on the next lap, you can maybe save enough to stretch it 12 laps on a safety car stint to get 11 laps out of the tank to get home. But I think there's going to be a few people chug-lugging to the line, Chris Stark.
I had Jamie Welch spotting for me, and he was putting me in a position where I was going to make it to the end, where everyone else was going to have to stop. And going in again. And he said, I'll be back in a sec. And then I put it in the fence, and he went, what did you do?
So Rayhana, Cook, and then Simpson, Cooper, Vincent, and Schmidt all in. Fodiatis as well. Maverick, Adam Lavis, he's in too.
So Splash.
And one man that isn't in is Brady McHugh just yet. I'm just waiting to see if he comes in, because he's got himself back up to 7th in all of this. Is the Splash and Go. If they so I think I misspoke. I said that Rankin was trying to get 12 laps. He was trying to get 13. So we got 12 okay, but it was serious fuel saving, 4 seconds a lap, etc. So watch everyone leave the lane, probably saving their fresh set of tyres for this as well. Let's see how all this plays out. Fuel, tyres, everything. Gary Cousins the leader at the moment, but he pitted on lap 33 and it was a 31-second stop. So I don't think we consider Cousins a contender in this. It's Rayhana, Cook, Fodiatis, Lavis. Not going green. So we're going to go around one more time. So that's going to get us to 11 laps to go, and that's the critical number. Oh, we're in for some fireworks here. Are you guys sticking around?
Oh, definitely. I like it. So this is on. It's time to go in now. Take your juice to get home and throw the option tyre on and let the old girl rip. See what happens.
The question I've got to ask you,
Gary Cousins going to do here, whether he's going to stay out or pit, or he's got another lap now. So
yeah, you got to pit.
Yeah.
So not going green next time by, so it'll be 12 laps to go when they come back to the line. Last
Gary's
lap
on
under
the hard
caution,
compound as
to
well,
11
so
laps to go.
He'd want to put the soft compounds on, I'd say, as well.
Oh, well, that's true too. So he'll pit this time by. He'll sacrifice track position. Rayhana, Cook, Fodiatis, Lavis, and McHugh will be the top 5. But I think McHugh's got to come in as well. McHugh has to come in. He has to sacrifice track position here because his last stop was lap 30. He's not getting home on those numbers. So if now that you've got the word through that we're not going green, surely McHugh's in this time too.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see more than, wouldn't be surprised if you see more than just those guys that need to come in and haven't already gone in through the through this safety car sequence. I reckon you'll still see a couple pop in there just to make it a little bit easier and not have to go saving that a little bit of extra juice. I'll just be able to let the old girl have it and see what it can do. It's a lot easier if you don't have to worry about conserving and rolling out of the throttle, anything like that. You can just head down, bum up, and just go for it. It just takes a lot of that mental load away for you as well.
Just getting word through my earpiece that Nick's out of sequence with his tyres. Here we go. Oh, they all thrown a dummy. Now, who actually took the bait and went in? Brody McHugh. He's gone in. That's not surprising. Cousins stayed out. That rules him out.
Wow.
Unless
there's another safety car or something.
No, well, yeah. I don't want to get tactical here, and I don't want to get political. But do you think he's going to try and hold Rayhana and Cook up to help Nick?
There's
the thought.
No.
Oh well, Nick's thrown me under the bus for doing something similar before when we didn't do it.
Oh,
so
yeah, exactly.
Definitely. That's team orders, 100% team orders.
Oh dear. Now, I was going to advise... Chris Whittaker's been in the commentary box with me before. Starkey hasn't when I've been in full flight. So if you guys need to notch your headphone volume on me down a couple of notches, do it now because it's about to get pretty loud here.
Ahead of you, my man.
It's about to explode. Oh, mate, we're pumped up. We're ready to go. 12 laps to go. It's going to be 11 when they get back to the line. We know that they're all in fuel save mode, and they will be right to the very end. And I think if they can save enough to get them to being able to go flat out for the last 2 laps, it is going to be on like Donkey Kong. And you don't want to go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I'll keep you up to date with the NRL, the footy. Don't worry about that. Brisbane lead Parramatta 18-6 at the moment. If it stays that way, I'll have a happy colleague tomorrow morning in Anthony Bomber Breeze on West Bremer Radio. If it stays that way, I'll have 3 from 3 to start the season with the footy tipping too. So a lot riding on that at the moment. But we're all eyes on this. All focus is right here because we have an epic on our hands. 11 laps to go. Lap cards have been waved around. There were now 13 on the lead lap. Gary Cousins is going to bring him back to green, but he's an anchor in all of this. He cannot get home on the fuel numbers that we are dishing up and calculating here amongst ourselves. Rayhana, Cook, Fodiatis hasn't won a race yet in this championship, nor is Rick Vincent in 6th, John Simpson in 7th, Scott Rankin in 8th, Matthew Dench or Josh Millard in the top 10 there. However, I think you've got to keep an eye on Brady McHugh because he'll be running through like a bear with a sore head. And he's in 11th at the moment. The last stop there, Chris, for him was 31.2 seconds. So I'm not sure what's happened there, but he's had a very long pit stop.
That's probably a quick repair in his boots on there and maybe jump out and grab a coffee for the last couple of laps. But watch him from 11th. This is going to be exactly as you said, mate. It's going to be on like Donkey Kong. I'm going to shut up and let Zach do his thing.
All right, Gary Cousins to bring us back to the line. Sharp Extensive I.T. Road to Indy with thanks to Motorfocus. Friday Night Motorsport across SimShed Broadcasting and the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. And the sprint to the line is must watch. Don't leave us. Lock the door. Lock yourself, strap yourself in and buckle up on the couch because we're going to the checkered flag uninterrupted. On the way to the first corner, here comes Gary Cousins leading the field back to green. How quickly does Jackson Rayhana want to put himself in clear air? Almost immediately. Rayhana couldn't quite get through on the inside. Oh, Gary Cousins to turn one. And again, that's going to help Nick Fodiatis out. Look at him trying to range up there on the outside of Angus Cook through the southern loop. He tucks back in. Oh, the top four have broken clear. Adam Laver's trying to go with him in fifth. And now Nick ranging up on the inside of Angus Cook as they go through Stoner Corner on the run down to Honda. And Rayhana now makes light work of Gary Cousins. Jackson Rayhana, the 57, takes the lead. Cousins is right there trying to fend off Cook. And if he can push Cook to the outside, that'll allow Fodiatis up on the inside. No. So Cook ranges up on the outside of Cousins, but he's not going to get the job done through the hay shed. Now he might through the second part of the hay shed. Cook to second. Summit Sim Sport in clear air as they hit Lukey Heights and then MG. Watch them through MG. Can Cook strangle it up on the inside? Yes, he can. Nice restart from the two Summit SimSport entries. Angus Cook is second. His teammate is first. And it's a reversal of what we see in TCR on a Wednesday night. Rayhana skips clear. McHugh has already made up ground. He's up into 10th, but he's got Scott Rankin just ahead of him as well. So watch Brady McHugh and Scott Rankin back there in 9th. Watch Fodiatis and Cousins here. Cousins is out of business. Forget about that. He won't get home on that fuel. He's going to have to pit in the closing stages. Really surprising. Extremely surprising that he didn't get the job done. He didn't go in and fuel up during that 4-lap safety car. Extraordinary, astonishing stuff from Gary Cousins. He's just thrown away a potential top 5 finish here. Down to Honda. Fodiatis on the outside, Cook on the inside. These two are used to dueling, used to racing side by side. We see it all the time. That race in Las Vegas was a cracker, and Ray, oh, look at that. Fodiatis up around the outside through Siberia. What a move that was. Probably the move of the night. Nick's into second. He's on a mission here. Can he be the 6th different winner in 7 weeks in this championship? We're about to find out. Up to Lukey Heights one more time. Some analysis from Paul Nichols. Cook back down the inside. No contact. Good to see. Clean racing as Cook yields, but he compromised his run out of MG on the back of that. How much push to pass have these boys got left? That's something we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah,
that could be a factor in the end as well. Fodiatis down the main straight. He's holding the inside line here. So it's an interesting line from Nick at the moment. You normally gradually ease yourself across on the main straight. You go from right to left. He crisps the grass there on the entry to the southern loop. Very lucky that he didn't come undone. Oh, this is super stuff. Rayhana, Fodiatis, Cook, Cousins, and Lavis, the top 5. Some thoughts from the 3 of you gentlemen while I take a drink.
I'm just going to say, I'm not sure if these guys understand what fuel conserving is. I don't see any rolling out of any throttle whatsoever here. Maybe Angus just a beast coming into Siberia before when Nick went around the outside. But other than that, these guys just look like they're pushing on hard. Just let's just see what happens with it all.
Nico's aware those reds after 4 laps aren't going to be real flash.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the red. You got Nico on hards or mediums, and the 2 Summit Sim boys on the red compound. So really interesting end of the race here, how those soft compounds survive.
Yeah, I don't think Cousins has got enough fuel, but he would have just been there to hold him up to let Nico's tyres come up to 10.
What's also worth noting here, boys, as well, as they come back onto the main straight, we know Fodiatis has had to go hard and get to the front because he's going to be compromised on tyres otherwise. That's fine. 4 of them have just punched out their PB of the night.
Wow.
Fodiatis a 15.01, Cook a 15.2, and then Cousins a 15.3. And look at Nick all over the back of Rayhana right here, and John Simpson a 15.0 as well. A 15.4 for Rayhana, who punched out a 15.2 earlier in the race. Fastest lap of the night so far on my count here. Oh, Fodiatis around the outside at Honda. That won't work. But he might try it at Siberia again. Josh Millard's on the pit lane as well, but he's got back out onto the racetrack. We're on lap 40 or 47. This is just super stuff. Don't take your eyes off this, folks. Just having a look through, the fastest lap of the night by my count is a 14.8 for Matthew Dench, which is extraordinary. He's the only man that's been in the 14s all night. And Brady McHugh, I'm just having a look to see where he's dropped to. He's dropped down to 7.8. So Brady McHugh, unfortunately, out of business. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's dropped positions. He's headed back into the pit lane. Brady McHugh out of business. Bevan Moyes out of business, a lap down as well. I didn't think we'd be saying that 15 laps ago. But that drive-through penalty really hurt him. Oh, look at this. Cook up on the outside of Fodiatis to 1 and job done. Now again, Angus Cook just punched out the fastest lap of the night at 14.8, if you don't mind. Oh, how good's this?
Obviously in draft there as well. He's probably saved his tyres a little bit as well.
Probably saved his tyres, but again, what Starkey said, they're not saving fuel. What Whitaker said as well. There's no fuel conservation going on here. So are these guys okay and they're just not letting it on? Or are they going to get to 4 laps and think, oh, crap? Well, we're going to wait and see.
Get in trouble.
All these drivers are pretty smart. I mean, they would have worked out their numbers. I mean, we know these guys, to be consistent up the top of the field, they have to be good at their calculations. So I think they'll, either they're all going to have to stop. I mean, we know Gary will, but the top 3, either they've worked out that they can get home or not.
We all know that Nico is the best saver.
Yep, correct.
You'll know.
Well, Starkey, this is the thing too. We know, having watched Nick throughout the last couple of months, that he prides himself on fuel saving and getting to the checkered flag. Sure, he compromises a little bit of race speed, but spending as less time on pit road as possible. So if anyone has the numbers right tonight, it's got to be Nick, because he'd be so disappointed that he went 1 lap too early in Gateway last week. Have a look at that in the draft on the outside of Cookie to turn 1. They can go side by side through there. They've proved that before, but Nick tucks back in. Oh, no, not at all. So Rayhana, Cook, Fodiatis, Cousins, and Lavis, the top 5 here. Extraordinary stuff at Phillip Island. I can't believe that Gary Cousins is still out there. He's going to have to stop eventually. 33 was when he last came in. 41, we're on 42 now. So this is the 9th lap of the stint. He's getting perilously close to having to come to pit road. But the longer he stays with these guys, the bigger the gap to the rest of the pack, the better he's going to be on the outcome. But he has cost himself a top 5 tonight. He can't get in and out in 6 seconds, and that's only the margin back to Adam Lavis. So it's disappointing for him. The other problem we've got here, boys, we're on lap 42 of 47. We've just gone to 1 hour and 10 seconds. I think we're still going to be okay on the time certain factor, but by gee, it's going to be tight. It is going to be really tight tonight. We might get there, we might not. It might be 1 lap short. We'll wait and see. Across the line we go, 1 minute 15, so that's 5 minutes every 4 laps. I tell you what, I think we're gonna get done here by 1 lap. We're on to lap 43. 4 laps to go. I'm calling it.
I'm glad I can be in the booth here with you, Zach, if it's going to be a time certain race as well. We all know how much a fan you are of time certain races that have a lap number next to them. So we've just turned into supercars, boys.
Yeah, he's talking about time, like Queensland time.
Yeah, they certainly. Oh, look at this. Now they're all now fuel saving. There's some big lifts happening. Gary Cousins has gone through into 3rd on Fodiatis. So Fodiatis back to 4th. Cook is 2nd. Rayhana 3rd. They're all going to be battling away right to the end here. But if you're Fodiatis, you want to be closer. But there's some serious fuel saving going on.
I don't think so. I reckon, they've let Gary run here. That's what Nick and Gary are chatting. They've gone, you know what, Gary, you go through. You got to pit anyway. These other guys, I'm sure they know that he has to pit, but it's the mental thing. You do not want to let him through no matter what. If he's out there just driving the absolute wheels off the bloody thing, it's going to make the other 2 drive their car a lot harder as well. And we've got Brady in the green room. What's happened there?
Oh, yeah, here we go. We'll get Brady McHugh and Brett Wilson in. We'll get these boys in. Brady McHugh, Brett Wilson, welcome to the commentary box. We'll chat to you soon. There goes Gary Cousins straight through. Some serious lifting from Jackson Rayhana and from Angus Cook and Nick Fodiatis on the main straight. And Cousins has bolted. He's into the 11th lap of his stint. He won't make it to the end, even if it does run time certain. And there's only 3 minutes left on the clock. It's this lap and 2 more. They won't get the 3rd. So there's 3 laps for these guys to hold on. So again, the gamble there, Paul Nichols, with the fuel stops and everything else and the fuel saving, they might actually, it might reap rewards for them that this does run 1 lap short. I mean, and that all comes back to, because we've seen this before, we know that the reason for it is the extra lap behind the caution. That cost us the time that we needed to get the job done, but we knew that was going to be a factor tonight. Maybe we just need to talk Nick into planning for a 65-minute race, but giving the server to 70 minutes. I don't know. We'll find a way to avoid this rubbish in the next couple of weeks. Don't worry about that. Exactly. I'll be upping for the rent. Don't worry about that. 44 of, I'm going to say 46 here. It's going to be this one and two more. They come out of MG one more time, rather. 2 to go when they get back to the line. There's only 2 minutes on the clock. It should be this one and then the white, then the checker. Green, white, checker. How good's this? Rayhana backs out of it. Now down the inside comes Cook. Look at the fuel saving going on here. Cookie goes to the lead. Then Fodiatis is there as well. They don't want the lap traffic. Is that Bevan Moyes to get in the road? Cook now takes the lead. He does the heavy lifting. Cousins is bolted. And actually, you know what? This is the 12th lap of the Gary Cousins stint.
Do you think he can?
Well,
he's gone too hard. If he could, then he'd be back with the other fellas. There's no way that he's saved as much fuel as what they have.
Surely not.
If they're backing out of it that much, and he didn't pit for an extra 4 laps under safety car, even if he's only burned a litre or two under safety car each lap, there's no way.
What about Adam Maverick? Adam Maverick was
the
same strategy.
Well, that's exactly right. 30. Well, he's got 1 lap on Cousins. He was 30. He was 34. So Rayhana, Cook, Lavis, and then Fodiatis on 34. Schmidt 35. Rankin 34. Josh Millard's last stop was 39. He's sitting there 8th at the moment. John Simpson has already conceded defeat. He came in. There goes Cousins now. So Cousins concedes defeat on it. We've got the white flag coming out this time by 1 to go at the island.
Wow.
Now Adam Lavis has had an off-track excursion, has he? Let's have a look at this. No. Actually, no. He's just latched onto the back of everybody. Adam Lavis is charging home. Have a look at that. He's into third.
Yeah, well, he wasn't fighting at the start of the stint. He saved the fuel at the start of the stint where you need to. Driven straight up on the back of him. Now use the tow for a couple of laps, save a bit more, and then go.
It could be the masterstroke of the IndyCar series if he pulls off another one.
It could be 3.
Third.
3 wins.
Exactly. And in the space of 5 weeks, just extraordinary stuff. Let's have a look at this as they make their way around. This is the last lap. Nick's out of business. He's too far back. Unless these guys run out of fuel and cough and splutter to the line. That's the only way Nick's getting home here. The checkered flag will fly this time by, I'm pretty certain. Because we've gone past that 65-minute mark. It is like 46 of what was supposed to be 47. We've got Brady McHugh and Brett Wilson standing by to have a chat to us in just a moment. We'll get to them soon. It's been great to have Chris Stark and Chris Whitaker here for an awesome race. Probably the pick of the road course races thus far, and that's saying something. The pace has been electric from the outset, and he's going to go back-to-back on road courses. If the checkered flag does fly this time, last turn, it should be the checkered flag. Jackson Rayhana, what a performance this has been. And if the checkered flag does fly, which it does, he gets the job done at the island, and that's 2 on the trot on road courses. Cook second, Lavis third. Fodiatis pipped by Lavis again. He'll be absolutely annoyed by that. He'll be pinching himself. Will Adam Lavis. He won't know what he's done to deserve such good luck over his good mate there, Nick Fodiatis. And then Jaden Schmidt there in 5th. Gary Cousins, Scott Rankin, John Simpson, Josh Millard, and Rick Vince at the top 10. Now, I feel a little bit underwhelmed because we have been ripped off there. We're 1 lap short, but really, you can't say a bad word about that, Nico. Those 46 laps were fantastic viewing. There is Jackson Rayhana and Angus Cook. It's another Summit Simsport 1-2. We'll get Chris Stark's thoughts on that in just a moment. And then Adam Lavis, he's just pulled off another one. He's got onto the podium one more time. Another IndyCar podium for him. He's the prince of the series at the moment.
Absolutely. I'm not sure where he is in the points standing at the moment. I haven't got them in front of me, but he must be. So he must be pretty well up in the top 5 at least, I'd say.
No, he certainly will be, and the boys celebrate accordingly. So Jackson Rayhana, again, couldn't build up the finish too much because we weren't sure until we saw the checkered flag as they were coming out of the last corner. That is epic from Jackson Rayhana. They made it work. Yes, they got helped by the fact that they had 1 less lap to complete at full speed, but Jackson Rayhana gets the job done from Angus Cook, Adam Lavis, Nick Fodiatis, and Jaden Schmidt. Then Gary Cousins, Scott Rankin, John Simpson, Josh Millard, and Rick Vince at the top 10. Outside of that, Matthew Dench was the last one on the lead lap. Then Andre Youssef, Bevan Moyes, Julian Mookie. Joe Baldwin took us back to 15th. Aidan Rice, Jason Dunn, and Brady McHugh to 18th. Of course, McHugh, a late retirement there. Over the page some more. We go back to Aaron Cooper, Brett Wilson, Chris Whitaker, who's already in here, Teo Serrano, Chris Stark, who's in here as well, Frank Hodak, Jared Daly, and then a long list of those that didn't even start. Jonathan Turner and Mark Smith were the last of the finishers in the last of the runners that started the race, actually. We go back, Dylan Gray, 41 laps down, and then Sebastian Spicer, Brett Selby Wood, and Jonathan Hancock in race control, so don't worry too much about that. Let's go to you, Chris Stark. You've got to be very proud of the Summit SimSport boys before I drag them into the booth here.
Not bad drivers, Cookie and Jackson, and they're not just fast, but they're actually now starting to get smarter, especially because of these forced fuel races, forced tyre races. We're doing a lot more practice on long fuel runs, tyre runs. Can we double stint? Can we not double stint? What's the track doing? So that was a very well planned out and executed one too. That wasn't luck.
You'd have to, just cutting in here, ladies and gentlemen, to bring you up to date. The NRL's all over, 24-16 in favour of Parramatta. So you'd feel particularly ripped off if you brought your tickets at one end of the ground that didn't see a try or a single point scored there all night. All the tries came on right of screen. So how about that? We'll get to Jackson and also Angus in just a moment. They're sitting there high-fiving each other, and rightly so. Chris Whitaker, your observations and all that. I mean, it doesn't get much better than IndyCar on a Friday night. I mean, we've got some good racing in the GTs, and we've had some all right finishes in the supercars, and the Porsches have been good too. But by gee, the standards has been set here on a Friday night with the IndyCar series.
Oh, mate, it's not often that you're happy that that you had to quit out of a race. That was an epic finish. I'm kind of glad I was here watching as opposed to driving, unless I was in the battle, but there's no way I had the pace of those fellows. So, no, that was unreal. Awesome finish to the race. Good solid driving by all the guys. Nice and clean, nice and straight, and to make it on the fuel there, yeah, okay. If we had that extra lap, that would have thrown a spanner in the works, maybe more so. But no, mate, that was a bloody good run.
And I think that's why we saw Nick back out of it as much as he did on that last lap, because he knew it was a 47-lap race. It's just time certainty got him. So otherwise, I reckon he would have had a tougher, higher crack as well. That being said, we'll hear from him very shortly. Let's go to Brett Wilson and Brady McHugh firstly, though, boys. And I'll come back to Paul Nichols in just a moment because he's currently muted his microphone. Brady, that was very unlucky for you because you had such great speed, you had such a good opening stint, and then unfortunately, lap traffic brings you undone with an off-track excursion. And as they've come back onto the racetrack because the cars flicked them in your direction, unfortunately, right into your path, and you've had nowhere to go.
Yeah, mate, one of those things. But, at the same time, this race is so long that I stayed in it and I ended up back on the lead lap there. And to be honest, mate, I pitted on, I think, the last lap of the safety car there and copped the penalty. But I had fuel and a brand new set of reds to go to the end. So I would have loved to see how we go. I just had a few battles there with guys on the wrong tyre trying to fight us a bit hard. So, yeah, mate, one of those nights, but well done to Jackson and Angus and another great strategy from Maverick there as he does so often.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Hey, talk us through the closing stages. What brought it undone for you, mate? We didn't see the incident, unfortunately. Our eyes were very firmly up the front.
Yeah, mate, no, just making my way back through. As I said, I had a brand new set of reds and, mate, just got tagged by one of the guys there, so... that ended my race, mate, unfortunately.
Surely a win's due for you. You've had such great pace in these IndyCar series. Milwaukee's next stop, then Barber. And then, of course, we go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for an Indy 300, which is going to be epic in every sense of the word on Good Friday. You must be feeling a little hard done by the fact that you haven't got yourself a win just yet.
Yeah, I guess so, mate. It probably requires a bit more... Nick set these races up so well, and as we see so many good finishes. I probably need to invest a little bit more time, mate, in actually thinking of a strategy. We kind of qualified, and the Tech 1 guys were just talking about what we were going to do. So we're kind of just winging it, mate. So if I invested a little bit more time, I think we could go a little bit better. But, mate, I'm enjoying the series. That's the main thing.
Now, I don't know if our director can put the mugs up on screen here, but Chris Kisby's just sitting there intrigued by what he's listening to. Angus Cook's sitting there waiting for me to introduce him. Jackson Rayhana's drinking something far better than champagne, and Nick's sitting there leader of the gym shirts as well, with these Bailey ladders and dial before you dig sponsored gig. And the singlet thing's catching on here because Jackson's got that as well. We'll see if we can get the boys up on screen for you. Hey, let's bring in Brett Wilson at this point in time. Chris Whittaker's just joined the party too. Hey, Brett, that was unfortunate for you because again, you had good pace, but by gee, that was a really tough night at the office.
Yeah, evening, gents. Congrats to the podium guys. That was awesome. Yeah, really tough night. Started off with a storm here, lost internet, came back up with 4G. I probably should have pulled stumps then, to be honest. But yeah, a bit disappointed in myself. Had a bit of a mishap with strategy, and yeah, I lost the rear. I took someone out, and I locked up. Second chance, I locked up, and unfortunately, Adam was behind me. He had nowhere to go, so he took a wheel off, and hopefully I didn't impede on him too much. And then, yeah, back marker kind of cleaned me up, and that was it. I couldn't race anymore.
And that's the thing too, isn't it? Actually, just before I go on, director, just confirm that we're still on air because I've lost your on-air feed here in Discord. We're still going. We're good.
Still on Twitch.
Okay. Copy that. All good. All good. Let's continue on here. We've got Brett Wilson. We'll finish with him and then we'll talk to all the other guys in just a moment. Brett, as you say, you just couldn't keep going on. It gets to a point some weeks where when you take enough punches, you eventually concede defeat, unfortunately. And that's a setback as far as the series is concerned. But onwards and upwards for the last 3 weeks, mate. You've got pace. There's no doubt about that.
So thanks, mate. Yeah, just I think a bit more. I need to invest some time into it, to be honest with you. A little bit more time would be nice, and yeah, look up on some of the strategies, and yeah, bounce back next week, see how we go.
All right, now at this point in time, I'll bring in Nick Fodiatis as well, mate. Come on, we've got to do better than that. That's the second time certain finish on a road course this season. And to be fair, I think that's what brought you undone there because there was some serious fuel saving going on, but you were banking for 47, not 46 laps, weren't you?
Yeah, 100%. Look, I calculated it out. The pace is faster than I calculated. I didn't keep my eye on the clock, so that was my undoing. But yeah, I got out-teamed, but the Bailey Ladders car stood strong amongst all that.
It certainly did. We're going to have some drivers joining us right throughout the next, 34 minutes or so, ladies and gentlemen, right up until 10:45 Eastern Daylight Time when we wrap this baby up on a Friday night. Nick, I'll come back to you very shortly because the racing has been electric tonight. There's no doubt about that. Hey, Paul Nichols.
Hello.
I mean, you've sat next to me for much of this IndyCar series, and if you haven't, Kester Ward has. This series is setting the benchmark for the rest of the categories and rest of the championships that we've got within the club to follow. And I mean, we've got 2 back-to-back winners, but we've still had 5 different winners throughout the course of 7 rounds. And still, as proven with Brady, with Brett, with Nick, definitely potential for that list to grow in the next 3 weeks. What did you make of tonight?
Absolutely awesome, a really exciting race. I mean, the fuel strategy, tyre strategy, pitch strategy, it all played into it tonight. I was looking at looking at the results so far. So Nick's in the lead prior to this round, and then Jackson and Adam. So it'd be really interesting, and Angus in P4 and Julian in P5. Julian didn't have a great race tonight, so interesting to see how the points stack up after this race. But exciting race, fantastic broadcast as well, and yeah, thanks JP. Great directing tonight. Awesome.
Nick, I saw you had your hand up there. Did you want to chime in?
Oh no, Julian didn't have a good race because of me. That's why I got my drive-through.
Well,
Yes.
well, this is true. I was going to say you pride yourself on not getting drive-throughs, but hey, that happens. Chris Kisby from Race Control's perspective, what do you make of all of that, please?
Mate, we in Race Control were very happy with the race tonight. A lot of the incidents caused from racing, not from stupidity, but just from hard racing. And I think apologies for the extra yellow round there, but
It had to happen.
so many cars to wave around.
Yeah.
But, we just had to throw that one extra lap.
We
in.
actually mentioned that prior to it happening, just with
Yeah.
so many cars a lap down,
Yeah.
we thought it
That's
would go
right.
to that
Yeah.
fourth lap under safety car.
So
Yeah. Nico read it perfectly.
I actually calculated. We got the number that was given to us off Google, and then I said to Jonathan, I said, mate, there's that many that need a wave around. We're going to go 3 laps earlier, and that way, if we have to throw an extra yellow, then it won't impact that last 10 laps. And that's what we were aiming for, is that to have a good clean 10 laps to finish the race off. And I think we got there tonight.
And I called that one too, Paul. I said they wouldn't throw
Absolutely.
it anywhere near 36, 37 because it would impede on that final 10
That is
laps.
exactly right, yeah.
No, well done from everybody's perspective. Race control, co-commentators and drivers. That was phenomenal stuff all round. Let's we've lost Chris Stark, but that's okay. We wish him all the best down there at Mr. Daly's house. Great hospitality from the Dailies to have Starkey on board on a Friday night, no doubt about that. Let's continue the conversation here. Let's bring in our race winner, Jackson Rayhana. The hard work pays off, mate. Second
Well
road
done,
course
Jackson.
win in 3 weeks. Well done.
Thanks, fellas. Good evening. It wasn't quite smooth sailing first part of the race. There were a few dicey moments there with lap cars. Like first and foremost, condolences to Brady. Like he looked really strong tonight, and it's a really, really horrible way to go. It happened right in front of me, and I nearly got caught up in it as well. So yeah, it's really, really, really terrible luck, and I hope he can bounce back strong. And yeah, I think you're right. I think he is due for a win in this series. He's definitely got the pace, as do the Tech 1 guys. Julian's up there at the pointy end of the table as well. So yeah, they're looking pretty good toward the back end of the season. But yeah, that safety car came out at a really awkward time, and there was a point there. I think Gus and I were just fingers crossed for, like, please, just if it doesn't come out, if they make a mistake like they did at Road America, we're all gravy here. But yeah, I called it. If you watch Gus's stream, I was literally coming around the final corner, or 2 corners to go, and I'm like, all right, they're going to put the safety car in 3, 2, and they put it on 2, not 1. So I was only 1 second off, but yeah, that was cool. But it was very intense there at the end. It's a bit more or less a game of cat and mouse. I saw Gary pit, and then the white flag came out. So we had about 6.2 litres left with 2 laps to go. So on the lowest fuel map setting, we probably could have gotten home, albeit with maybe 0.2 of fuel saving. We could have gotten home at full noise on the last lap. But either way, it's really, really good. I'm pinching myself. I'm so happy that we got Summit 1-2 in this series, because by G, it's a very, very strong series.
The longest victory speech I've heard in a while. Well done, Jackson. He's very relieved to get the job done up. There's no doubt about that. No, not at all. You're allowed all the time you want. Hey, also, folks, feel free to look directly into your cameras as you talk to us tonight, because JP's got you up on the screen for all to see. The reason that I'm not on screen, well, A, head for radio for a reason, and 2, there's no camera on the PC as yet, but we might work on that. We'll see how we go. The fact of the matter is, we'll continue the post-race show here and have a chat. We'll bring in Angus Cook at this point in time.
Right, Nick. We look like a Brady Bunch. Look.
Great observation from Chris Kisby. The opening sequence, at least. Yeah, I see exactly what you're talking about.
Alice and Nick is Alice.
Yeah. Don't anyone say what I think you're going to say next. Alice. Yeah. Anyway, hey, Angus Cook, let's go to you and straighten things up here a little bit. It's all got to hell on a Friday night. Mate, that was a brilliant drive from you, but everything that you're doing right in TCR, Jackson's doing in IndyCar. You haven't been able to pip him on the road courses yet?
No, that's fine. Happy to be a tail gunner. That was the plan. I passed him with 2 to go. That last stint was mayhem. We didn't know what was happening. I'm going to throw something out there that I don't think the clock went as maybe we expected. Those last few laps we were doing, I think throughout the clock, because when we crossed on that last lap, I reckon there was, or with 2 to go, there was about 1:40 left. So there wasn't anywhere near 1:15. So it'd be interesting to go back and actually have a look at when the white flag did come out, and maybe those slower laps, threw it off. But we were going off what Nick was doing because he was going to be the one out of anyone who would know the fuel figure. So
yeah,
and I knew Gary was going to be done for no matter what because he pitted that extra lap, and I was adamant that we pit again, and I wanted to pit again after that just to be proper safe. But if I had gone one more, it would have been probably a Lightning McQueen tongue over the line kind of affair. But I'm glad that we're able to pick up the 1-2 in the Phantom and Flash Graphics cars. I'm going to do what Nick did as well and start pointing at other sponsors.
So look at that Summit Sim shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
No,
very nice.
It's very nicely done.
Shirts and stickers for sale if anyone's
Actually,
up.
I'll tell you what. Given the week I've had, I need a GSR. Whenever you would decide on a new logo, because I know there was a conversation being had about that today. I need a GSRC polo shirt on a Friday night. So when I eventually get a computer camera, we'll make it all happen. It'll look really professional. It's good stuff there. And again, Nick's pointing to all his sponsors there, and for very good reason. He's got the whole setup just smugly set there nicely. Anyway, on that subject, Nick, let's go to you. Let's talk about your teammate, Gary Cousins. Was it always planned that way that he would be pitting late, or do you think he made a mistake in not pitting when you guys did there in the closing stages of that safety car period, knowing that we still had 12, 13 laps up our sleeve? Or was there some team tactical play at his end in trying to keep the boys at bay from Summit Simsport there, Jackson and Angus, and help you get through?
Okay, a lot to process there.
Yes.
Part one, Gazza missed the pit in. We all pitted together, and Gaz drove straight past. He was looking at his screen or some sort. So that mucked him up. And then we got an extension to the yellow, and I nearly followed Angus. I did the little shimmy with Angus, but then I realized, hold on a sec, there's a lot of guys back on the lead lap. So if I do it, I'm going to be down the back somewhere. So
exactly.
On that,
a lot of stuff happening.
On that was my thinking too. With that delayed yellow, that was the biggest spanner in the works.
Certainly was.
So yeah, there was a lot of guys coming back on the lead lap. Other than that, I wanted to see what these two would do, and they played the team game. So I said, all right, Gary, up to you. Let's go. And yeah, look, I had to go to fuel save mode, and I was going to make it on 47 laps, not 46. But anyway, got to keep an eye on the clock next time.
100%. Hey, well, as I said in the call,
I dialed before I dug that hole.
I was going to say, you just need 5 minutes less on the old practice session, and then 5 more minutes on the race, and still, anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll have that discussion.
The way I've set it up, it's all about tactics. There was somebody, I can't remember who, somebody who's complaining about the yellow, but like, if you read the race rules, you know why the yellow's there. So, it's one of those things where you've got to have the full spectrum, have your full perspective open, because we deliberately put that yellow flag out there to bunch the field up. We deliberately have wave arounds. It's not a right, it's a privilege to get a wave around. So I mean, that's one thing I was going to point out. Halfway through the race, there was only 5 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah.
3 of which were championship contenders. Or I guess 4. 3 of which were championship contenders, and 2 of which were teammates of championship contenders. So it just shows the cream always rises to the top.
Oh, it certainly does. On that subject, Cookie, Rayhana, let's bring you back in. Chris Kisby still here, Paul Nichols as well, Chris Whitaker. I can see nothing happening on your camera on my Discord screen, but at least you're still there and flashing. I know you're there, so that's good. We'll get back to you very shortly as well. Brett Wilson's still here too. Let's continue the conversation, talking with the Summit Simsport boys. Obviously, you said there, Cookie Jackson, that you were following Nick on the numbers game. The race time in the end was 1 hour and 5 and 45 seconds, just quietly. So we were no hope of getting the 47th lap in. But in saying all of that, would you guys have been able to limp home if we'd had gone to 47? That's the question I've got for you, because we were all sitting here in the commentary box crunching the numbers saying, geez, this is going to be tight.
Well,
I would have.
I mean, as I said, I had 6.2 as we crossed the line with 2 laps to go. So we were doing, on full noise, we're doing about 3.4, 3.5. And that's on high mix, that's on rich fuel mix, that's throwing the whole kitchen sink at it. So realistically, in those last laps there, we were fuel saving to like 2.6 a lap, something like that, something crazy. So realistically, that was maybe either two half. We would have made it. I reckon we could have done it. Or it was just a whether of we were gonna back it off for one lap and then go ham for the last, or do sort of two crawling around laps. Just, I mean, I know I had that in my tank. I don't know if Gus did, because he was fighting a little bit harder than me to try and keep the die before you dig Bailey Ladders cars behind him. Yeah, so
Yeah, I reckon it was really tight for me. Nick and I actually had a really good battle, like really good wheel to wheel. Same with Gary actually. So like there were a couple. I had like 2 0Xs at one point, but like respect was shown, and I had Curtis in my corner, and on his screen my wheel flicked off, and he was yelling and screaming, thinking I'd lost the race. But I
he
reckon
threw me off the track as
Yeah,
well.
no.
I'm like, shut up, the wheel's
they,
fine.
they were watching just as much as us. I was following Nick's lead. I didn't want to do what Adam did and save and then come at the end too late, but he was really close. He timed it pretty well. So it was kind of tricky. And again, I went off what Nick was doing, and I knew Gary was kind of out of the question no matter what. He was going to really struggle unless he saved. Yeah, a lot of push to passes, a lot of fuel map changing on the straights, chucking into the fast map on the straights, slow map in the corners. So there was a lot of mental process going on, but yeah, I'm just glad we got to the end.
Exactly.
It was a crazy race.
Yeah, 100%. Paul Nichols, you're about to depart. I mean, who other than me decides to work on a Saturday? Fair income. Let's before we let you go, and kiss me as well. So it's the three geese in the okay. Let's get a driver.
I got to pay for the sim gear, mate.
Well, this is true, and you got to pay to keep the fan club on site as well.
Correct.
No doubt.
Yeah. Hello, Amy.
So driver of the night nomination from you, please.
I think Paul Nichols started P10 and finished P2 in the Mazda MX-5s at Okayama. That's my vote.
Just listen to the smugness of that. Okay.
Hey,
let's get the MX-5s to one side because Chris Whitaker's worthy of a vote there as well. Let's go to IndyCar. Who are you voting for there, please?
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Jaden Schmidt started 25th, came home 5th.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jackson. I mean, yeah, just consistent all night. So Jackson, my vote.
All right, fair enough. So that's Jackson Rayhana and a couple of others. There's 3 nominations there at least. That's good.
In saying that, if I may put up a nomination, I reckon Nick, because he overcame adversity. He got
a penalty, mate.
He got a penalty. Well, you got a penalty, but you didn't. You didn't throw your toys out of the cot. You stuck with it. And
I hit Darren's wheel.
Yeah, I heard he got smacked in the face with a wheel.
Tricycle for half a lap.
It's like we were a train in front of him, and we were just throwing toys at him from the back of the train, like throwing wheels, throwing Molotov cocktails,
little shells, banana peels,
everything. So my vote would probably go to Nick. Because overcoming adversity. I think that's what that series has been.
I don't think admin can vote for themselves except myself. So.
Oh, okay. So what's good for you isn't good for the gander. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so just recapping, yourself and Jackson are your 2 votes. Yes.
Yeah. Correct. Yep.
All right. Okay. We'll leave it at that. We'll see you Monday. Thank you.
All right. See you, gents. Good night.
My driver of the night is race control.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
They did a really good job.
They did a terrific job. Absolutely. Let's continue the conversation, though, here, fellas. Chris Whitaker's going to come back in. Unfortunately, he's having some problems with his camera. It's gone from portrait to landscape, but it's gone upside bloody down. Whitaker's having a shocker. Have a look at that.
You live in the States.
I can fix this.
On the screen in a second.
I'm in America. That's all it is. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
What if we do it this way?
Let's have a look here. Just watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Just have a look.
There
we go. He's got himself straight now.
There we go. You can even see my house in the background.
You've got a good setup there, actually, Whitaker. There's no doubt about that. Let's
just like me.
Can we go back to your Mazda MX-5 drive for a moment, please, as well? Nothing wrong with the pedestal fan. Can we go back to that Mazda drive for a moment? Because it really ended up just becoming a training session for you, didn't it? Once the seas parted and you took the lead on lap 1, you led every lap, you pitted, you came back out in the lead, you pitted later than most, and then it was just a matter of just continue to do your thing. No pressure, no anything, and yet ended up 22 seconds ahead of everybody at the end. So there was like, even though there was no pressure, you weren't giving up. You were still foot to the floor 100% the entire way there, mate.
Yeah, training session's probably a good way to put it, to be honest. Once I saw that I had that sort of 3 or 4 second gap after however many laps it was, I just sort of thought, oh, we'll just keep pressing on here and we'll get a bit of practice in fuel saving and bits and pieces like that. My plan was actually to try to do the Brocky and save the tyres for the last lap and then go hell for leather on the last lap and see if I could do the fastest lap of the race. But Hobbo punched out a stupid time halfway through the race that I was never going to be able to catch anyway. So that's out the window. So it was pretty well just a matter of, cruise around, and I was sort of on what would usually be max fuel save, and looking down the times, I've sort of got a live feed of everyone's lap times as I'm going around, and I was still 3 or 4 tenths faster than everyone apart from Hobbo. So on max fuel save. So I'm like, oh, well, let's just keep going and see how far it goes. And I mean, hey, ideal world, you save a lap or you save 2 laps or 3 laps or whatever it is, or a whole stint, but you're never going to get through that race without pitting. But I think I end up saving probably 2 or 3 laps, something like that. Then, as I said before, overfilled in the pit stop anyway, so end up putting an extra lap of fuel back in it. So, by rights, it probably could have been, I don't know, maybe 25 seconds or thereabouts. But
exactly.
That also meant that at the end of the race, I was able to just press on. The second I came out of the pit, I just went for it, drove it as hard as I could, which it was still probably a bit slower than what it was at the start of the race because the tyres were a bit worn. But no, it was good fun.
Well, it was convincing and it was dominant, mate. There's no doubt about that. Commanding as well. On that subject, though, it was a nice surprise, I have to say, to see Brenton Hobson just waltz in all Shane Wallace-like and take pole position by a country mile there.
You wouldn't expect anything less, would you?
No.
I jumped in the room getting, MX5s, Akiyama, yes, love the combo, sweet, no worries, jump in, okay, can I load my, fix setups, okay, rightio, can't put my good setup in it, fine, that's all right, we'll deal with it, okay, I'll go practice, qualifying time, okay, rightio, straight into it, so, and then much the same with the Indycars as well, but, I sort of did, I think the first or second lap there, and Hobbo was like, that's 6 tenths or 7 tenths clear straight up and go, that was a pretty good lap. I don't think I've got that in me. So it was just sort of cruise around. Then I managed to jump on the back of him for a lap or 2 in qualifying and didn't find any time there, but ended up going faster without a tow anyway at the end. But I didn't have the pace of those front 2 fellows. They were just they're next level. But thankfully they came together and did the Moses thing and came home with the W. It's been a bloody long time between drinks.
It has.
Sure. So,
but it was on a Friday night as well.
Exactly,
so there's something about Friday nights that work for you.
I've only won on Friday nights, so maybe that's saying something. Maybe I need to run more Friday nights.
Hey, why not? And if you're not running them as a driver, you're always welcome to run them as a commentator. Come in and join us. That's all good fun. Big nod and props from Nick there as well. I was going to go back to Jackson Rayhana, but he's gone for a top up.
He's got to get a drink.
A second victory drink for him. And he's got the. Do you have a wild? Hang on. Just if we can put the camera on Jackson there. Do you have one of those wireless setups on you, on your headset there, so that you can just waltz into the kitchen and have a chat to us from anywhere in the house?
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Oh, very nicely done.
Speak.
Mate, I tell you what, I'm not as tech savvy as you guys, obviously, because I still got the old cable on the headset here. Unbelievable. Hey,
there we go.
Good stuff. There he is, back into position. Second celebratory drink for him. Still yet to crack the champers, but Canadian club's better anyway. Let's continue the conversation here. Brett Wilson's still here as well. 3 weeks to go, gents. We're fast running out of time, actually. I said 10:45. It's going to be more like 10:50 the way we're going. Cookie, the intensity of the IndyCar series, it's fast become the best thing since sliced bread as far as the GSRC is concerned. There's no doubt about that. And 3 weeks to go and 3 totally unique challenges. Milwaukee, Then Barber, which will be an absolute cracker, and I might be on location in Warwick to call that one. Who knows what's going on there? Unless actually, truth be told, if I do commentate in Warwick in a couple of weeks' time on the Friday night before doing the XLs on the Saturday at Morgan Park, I probably won't have accommodation in Warwick on the Saturday night because all the surrounding rooms will whinge and scream and moan about this loud Darrell Eastlake bloke doing his thing. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But Barber's obviously a one that we're looking forward to. And then Indianapolis for what equates to, according to your schedule there, Nick, 300 miles. So a nice little slog to end the season.
Yeah, I've got no idea if you can hear me. I'm actually off driving, sorry.
Right. Yeah, no, we've got
but
you, mate. That's all good.
I thought I'd tune in. I'm on Deso driver duty, so yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting end to the season, that's for sure. I don't really know what to expect at any of those circuits, apart from that Jackson will be quick at Barber, and Milwaukee will be probably mayhem, I think will be a good word, and a learning curve too.
Well, that's exactly right, Jackson. It's totally different and we can hear you loud and clear, by the way. If you're going to play Uber, just let them know that they can't swear in the background there, mate, because we're going to hear you otherwise. But I appreciate you muting yourself when you need to, but that's all good. Hey, Jackson, Milwaukee, totally different to Gateway, totally different to Indy, totally different to the other ovals we've been on, and it's going to be a nice little tester for those of you that turn up for the challenge, or do we think it's going to be like Gateway where the numbers won't flood in?
I mean, well, first and foremost, I'm going to be really tight for time next week. Whether or not I'll be able to make it in, I can maybe try and pull some strings and leave work maybe 15 minutes early to get some chance of getting some quali laps in.
Well, ask them if you can start 15 minutes early. There's your tip.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they'll get behind it though, so I'm sure they'll be able to give me a little bit of leniency. But yeah, look, Milwaukee. Supposedly, so what Nick's done is made the hardest oval the last one we go to, and Milwaukee. I've never driven it, but from what I've seen, it's quite tight. Even tighter than where we've just been to Gateway. So yeah, look, it's going to be another challenge. I now literally have nightmares after last week over the fuel strategy thing.
Yes.
It's
So does
something
Nick, actually.
It's something I don't want to happen again. So I think if anything, we're gonna, I guess our fight camp is what I'll call it. We'll throw in a lot of fuel saving. We'll really try and stretch out some stints, and really make them as long as we can, and just see really milk. I don't know, milk as much, milk as many laps out of the thing as we can, and really see how much we can actually stretch it. So yeah, that'll be the goal, I think, next week. Because I don't want to lose. But tonight, even I was having flashbacks from last week for tonight. I did not want to get dumped on strategy again.
Yep.
So after leading the race for so long, so look, I think that's going to be our main focus, and then we'll see how we go. I think tonight, I'm pretty confident I should be leading the championship now. So idea will be to hold that lead going into Barber, have another ripper race at Barber, and carry a lead into Indy. Because it's Indianapolis. Who knows what can happen there?
Exactly.
I'd just like to have a cushion going into that, and maybe enough of a cushion so that we can just send it, have some fun, and see where we end up.
Indeed. Actually, that reminds me, I got to start building the PowerPoint presentation that I normally do with all the championship statistics and all that sort of stuff ready for grand final week. Geez, that's going to be just add to the workload of the next 3 weeks. I'm not going to sleep at all. Good thing I started drinking coffee. Hey, let's throw the conversation back to Chris Whitaker here. You've had your first taste of open wheelers. We know you as a MX5 guy or a prod sports guy in the real world. You have occasional runs in the GT3 and the sim world, and obviously the stock cars as well. Has this fueled the flame to come back and have another play with IndyCar or not?
Microphone, push the
button.
button.
I was pressing the button. I was actually doing it that time. I clicked off Discord, so it was registering for a different program.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, that wasn't my usual. That's still yet to come. So, but yeah, definitely, fuel the fire for the IndyCar. I'll be back back to have playing them. I don't really do much oval stuff, but yeah, we'll come over Scoot if I'm around for Indianapolis. I'll come for a play and yeah, see if I can get in the way of everyone and you know, make some championship deciding decisions or something like that. But yeah, the no, I actually had a lot of fun in the old IndyCar around Phillip Island. So I mean, Phillip Island, anytime you get to drive around there is awesome. I love the place, but
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of spewing. I didn't jump in the old girl a bit earlier, but I was just messaging Brendan. He went over to the neighbour's place to watch the Broncos get spanked for a change, and
That's it.
Oh no!
and yeah, otherwise he would have jumped in and run the MX-5s definitely, and then probably run the Indycars as well. And he asked how the Indycars went just then. I was texting him, and I said, yeah, I think next week we'll have to go for a play, or whenever the next road course is anyway. Because
2 weeks time, Barber.
Yeah, we're both pretty useless around the ovals. So.
Right. Well, the problem you got in 2 weeks' time when it's Barber is we're all heading to Morgan Park for the first round of the Motorsport Australia Championship. So are you bringing the sim rig with you to Warwick, or does Warwick not handle the sim?
If I could fit it, if it wasn't such a pain to get out the door, I'd have a go at it. So, I've contemplated it. Don't worry.
I can imagine.
Mate, sitting there Monday night up the coast going, oh, this is crap. I should be out there driving. I'm thinking, oh, should I put a post up on the gents page and see if there's anyone that lives on the sunny coast and I can use their rig on Monday night? But I didn't finish work until late anyway on the Monday, so I was just spent by the time I got home.
Well, truth be told, our director is among many people up that way, and David Kirby was actually putting the feelers out for North Queensland a couple of weeks ago without any luck as well. But it's worth a shot. I mean, look at Chris Stark tonight. He was able to jump in Vanessa Daly's. So happy days there. But yeah, give it a thought. No doubt about that. Now, obviously, Jackson, you've cemented yourself as the man to beat on road courses. Adam Lavis on the ovals. Are you starting to feel the pressure with the final 3 rounds of the season, or are you just going to let the process play out as it's meant to be?
Road courses, if anything, I feel more pressure on the road courses because I know I'm expected to do well there.
Correct.
Ovals, not so much. Like, it's cool if we can do well there, but still a learning thing. If I can keep up with Adam and Nick, which I think I can, on pace, that's the goal. But the key thing there is just getting the strategy right. The big S word is we just need to be there at the end. We can't. I feel like we can't go off on our own and try our own thing because obviously these guys know better than I do. So I think I don't want to so much follow them, but I want to adjust myself so I'm not just thinking of going just gung ho to the end like I always have. Like, it's never been like me to sort of sit back and fuel save. I'm always the one who's just pitting. I'll take if I have to take the extra pit stop to get the fuel on board and go so I can go hard to the end. I can. Where I think this series has really taught me that sometimes it's not the best way to do that. Sometimes you're just going to get dumped. So yeah, look, again, it's like stock cars. That's why I love Friday nights. I'm always learning stuff, even though not so much on the driving front. I mean, even though I am still learning stuff on the driving front, it's more now the strategic front and planning a whole race and a long race at that.
I was going to say, Chris is still sitting there trying to adjust his camera, but I don't think the boys are on screen at the moment. I think we've gone back to race highlights, so you don't have to worry too much about that. I don't think it's the camera that's the problem; it's the light, but that's okay. You'll sort it out. You'll be fine. Let's start to wrap things up here, boys, because we're running fast out of time, and we've all got lives to live across the course of the weekend, including an early start for yours truly. Come and join me tomorrow morning on the radio. Don't worry about that. We're going to have some good fun there. Probably try and have another poke at the Queensland government, but that's just what I do. Someone's got to do it within the radio station, haven't they? Nick, Milwaukee, what are your thoughts going into that? Obviously, you've come close on the ovals before. You were close last week. You've got to be in with a chance next week, surely.
Oh, other than Indianapolis, is my favourite oval. So 1 mile oval, only 1.6 Ks around, 22 to 24 seconds, depending on how fast you go. It's just going to be absolute mayhem the whole race. Once again, look for the same guys to be at the front, because you just the same guys at the front, because they know what they're doing. They've been driving the IndyCar for most of the season. But B, just like I keep saying every week, the cream rises to the top. So the apple cart could be upset, but I mean, you look back in this particular weekend race here, we had different people setting the fastest laps of the race and fastest laps in practice and qualifying, but they'll nowhere at the end. So once again, it's those who understand the race rules or the class rules, but also those who know you need to peak on the last lap, not the first lap. So once again, I don't know if this broadcast showed, there was a lot of sheep stations being tossed to the side at the start of the race. I mean, as an example, I came out in 20th position. I was 10th by the next pit stop.
Indeed. Angus Cook, I'm going to bring you back in right now and then let you go so that you can focus on your taxi duties, if you can unmute yourself. Just quickly, mate, with regards to next week, your immediate thoughts on Milwaukee, but you've also got a TCR campaign that you can put one hand on the trophy with next week as well.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know if you can't hear me all right.
No, we've got you fine, mate.
Like...
That's all good.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd like to think that I'm probably just as highly likely to win as Adam would. Although Adam's won a few, if I was there last week, looking back at the broadcast, I know what I would have done, and I feel I would have had the pace. So on any day, I feel like I could beat Adam and the others on the oval. So I'll be going in looking for a win for Summit Sim Sports again. For TCR wise though, tonight was probably a little showing of what might be happening in that race. I was happy to be the tail gunner to Jax. If I had have known it was going one lap shorter when I took the lead with 2 to go, I probably would have maybe held it and snuck a little win. But Jax is here for IndyCar, I'm there for TCR, and that's how the team will operate. So I can see it as a bit of a formality coming towards the end. But yeah, I think it's going to be good fun. As Nick said, tonight was kind of a little showing of what happens when extra people come in. And I know I wasn't the only one worried that it might have had championship implications tonight. But yeah, at one point there where it was Summit 1-2, Aussie races 3-4, and then Adam, as Nick said, it just shows the quality of the drivers in this series and who's here reading the briefings and putting the time in.
Exactly right, and I think also one point that's clear. We talked about the potential for extra competitors tonight, Nick, because it's Phillip Island, not necessarily because they like the IndyCar, but because they like the circuit.
Yeah, exactly. All in all, it wasn't too crazy, but no, great way to introduce some people such as Chris Whitaker's into IndyCar. Give it a bit of a taste, and now he's hooked.
I hate to say it, but I can sense a petition going around for IndyCar at Bathurst next time. Now that we've had one Australian track, I don't think IndyCar would work around Oran Park though, Jackson. I know you love Oran Park, but I don't think IndyCar would work around there.
Nah, we could go skippies for a round and then do skippies at Oran Park. That it's like just sort of a big man just takes an IndyCar and squishes it and takes the really cool engine out and puts this crappy little thing. I wouldn't really call it an engine, but whatever it is in the back of it, and that's your skippy. I know Gus and I last time were at skippies at Oran Park. We probably had the best race we've ever had on iRacing. So hey, it'd be good for the broadcast. That's when we met. That's when we met each other. That's actually when we that's how we formed our relationship. When we went toe to toe with each other for the first time at Oran Park in the skippies. So yeah, there's a fun little story for you. But hey, Bathurst would be kind of crazy, but cool. But yeah, I think these tracks are more suited. These cars, are more suited for big open tracks like Phillip Island. Barber is probably an exception to that. It's a bit tighter,
but it's still exceptional for the racing there. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and I always call Oran Park just an abbreviated Barber. That's why I like them both so much.
Copy that.
So yeah, bring on Barber, I say.
Indeed. Well, Brett Wilson, I'll bring you back in. You've been sitting there patiently waiting for us to come back to you, and I appreciate you sticking around. What are your thoughts on the next 3 weeks? Because we've got, as I say, Milwaukee, Barber, and Indianapolis. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Indy. I haven't done that for a few years. Milwaukee, never been there, so that'll be interesting. Barber should be fun. But yeah, looking forward to it. looking forward to them. It's going to be a epic way to end the season, that's for sure.
All right, let's start to look ahead as far as next week is concerned. And this is where I'll bring Chris. Actually, I can't bring Chris Whitaker back in because he snuck off. Unfortunately, I was going to get his thoughts on the old GT3s on Monday night. So in his absence, let's go to Jackson Rayhana with regards to that, because it's GT3 racing Monday night and it's Zolder as well. That's just one of many assignments for you guys next week. Obviously, supercars on the Wednesday night. I think they're at Phillip Island as well.
We have a few cars up and comers as well.
Yeah, well, you could absolutely. Thursday night is, of course, the TCR GT4, and I'm trying to remember where that is. But you've got a big, busy week again next week, mate. What are your thoughts on everything happening there?
As I said on Monday night, I'm excited for Zolder. I think it's the first time I've been excited for a GT3 race in a long time. I'm still not the biggest fan of the class, so to speak, but I think we've found, or Mikey has found a direction in that Lamborghini that we keep following, and we keep, getting at least a little bit of pace, if not pace, consistency out of the car. So now that we've got something that we can fight with, it's a category that interests me somewhat more than it did 2 races ago. As I said, man, if you'd asked me 2 races ago what I thought of GT3s, I would have said crush it, burn it, pour petrol over it, and burn it again. But yeah, no, look, it's becoming enjoyable again, which is really cool. And yeah, Zolder's a great track, love it. We went there for the Australian Formula 3 Championship last night, and it was carnage.
Of course.
But yeah, no, look, I can't wait to drive it again. Good track.
Indeed it is. Hey, good news for you. TCR's Oran Park. Is this the week you get one back on Cookie?
Oh, I mean, Cookie's as good as I am at Oran Park too. So, it'll probably be round 2. Is that that Skippy race I just described? It'll probably be a round 2. So, I don't know. I don't really want to start racing him yet. Maybe not until he's absolutely sewn up the championship. So yeah, I feel that we're in very different rhetorics when it comes to both series. Like Gus is just absolutely dominating the TCR. So it seems at the moment where it's a little bit more touch and go for me in IndyCar at the moment. But so if team orders, or not team orders, but just a team decision comes into play, and every day of the week I'd give Angus the points to just ensure that he gets the championship. But yeah, it'll be good to wrap up second. So who knows?
Cookie, I can see you wanting to chime in there. Go for it.
I was just going to say the same thing pretty much about, the team's been working so well across the board in all categories. The only thing I'd say is,
when you don't run into each other.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're not wrong, Nick. I don't see many Aussie races cars, but as I know you've said in the past, when you've got so many cars and you've got a quarter of the field, it's kind of bound to happen at some point.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I think drop rounds are a thing to consider now that we're heading into week 8.
Yep.
Myself in IndyCar, I've had my 2 drop rounds already, so if you kind of take that into account, I'm probably
you're right in contention.
Fourth, yeah, that's right. So it takes a good race at the rest of them, and suddenly my name pops up. So exact same for Jackson in TCR, and exact same in a few of the other classes across the board.
Conversely, though, Angus, if one of these next 3 rounds go pear shaped, you're back where you started, because the drop rounds you're going to drop 0. So how do you feel about that? Is there any extra pressure for you, or are you feeling any extra pressure, given that there is that possibility that it could go pear shaped when you're banking on good results for the rounds that you to complement, I guess, the 2 rounds that you have missed?
Not really, no, because worst comes to worst, it is a 0, and that's the beauty of the drop round. It is there for people who can't necessarily make it each week, myself included, potentially for one of the, for IndyCar, for example. I've missed my 2 weeks now, and hopefully can make the remainder of the races, but it still keeps me in contention, which is why I know a lot of people enjoy driving, because they don't, instantly lose a championship when they miss a week due to life reasons. So a 0. It's not the worst thing in the world, but of course it's good to have those bank points. And the other thing is to look at bonus points too. I know I picked up a few tonight with a 0x and fastest lap. So, those slowly accumulate, and they add into your round points too.
Oh, yeah, I think we've got 4 or 5 genuine championship contenders going into the last 3 rounds. There's no doubt about that. Chris Kisby, I'm coming to you in just a moment, but firstly to you, Nick Photiadis. 7 weeks down, 27 broadcasts down. Of course, we missed the Friday night of week 1. 12 broadcasts to go, 3 weeks to go. You can sense the pressure mounting, but you can also sense a lot of calm within the guys who we've talked about tonight. They're not feeling tense and anxious about anything too much, which is probably a good sign that everyone's in a good place going into the final 3 weeks.
Well, yeah, I mean, just across the board, the level has stepped up. In saying that, everybody hasn't got time to get nervous. We've got to concentrate and get on with the job. So, oops, I just mucking with my microphone there. Yeah, look, it stepped up, so we just got to get on with it. There's no time to think. You're thinking about strategy, thinking about the car behind, you're thinking about what's going on in front. There's no real you just can't think about stuff like that. Really can't.
No, you certainly can't. Chris Kisby, let me come to you. Let me say all the best to you because we're not going to see you next Monday, Tuesday. But Wednesday, we're hoping that you're back on deck. Up-and-comers, Sakuba. That'll be a nice little challenge in the Kia Optima if Okiyama's any good.
Oh, it will be. I was having a chat with the guys the other night after the race, and the non-pit stop for fuel caught them out. They forgot about tyres, and I'd already done a few laps and knew how long it'd take. And I have a feeling that the same thing's going to happen at Sakuba.
Copy that.
Yeah, the fuel will be okay at this stage, but tyres, yeah, they may have to look at that. So yeah, so Wednesday there, we got Tuesday. We hope. Oh no, we won't Tuesday. Won't
Oh, that's right. We've got the week off. Yep, I'm going to get to that in a moment. Don't worry about that. SimShed Broadcasting schedule will be on screen in just a moment.
And then hopefully get into stuck back into it, feeling fit as a fiddle on Thursday, Friday, and back for the weekend to do the coffees.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. Looking forward to that. Oh, yes, of course, coffee runs tomorrow. Yeah, fantastic. Good luck with all of that. Nick, final thoughts go to you before I wrap things up and sign us off here at the ungodly time of 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Hopefully you've enjoyed it if you stayed with us, folks. We appreciate your support as per usual on a Friday night, and they're only going to get longer because the last week, of course, is grand final week. All the races are longer, so make sure you tune in grand final week in the lead up to Good Friday, where that will be the curtain coming down on season 1. Nick, driver of the night nomination from you firstly, and then obviously some final thoughts on the night that was, because by gee, that was a good combination with Global Mazdas and then IndyCar Phillip Island. I think we've hit a new high on a Friday night here.
Well, I've yet to watch you back to listen to you scream so loud that it actually doesn't register.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, being in the IndyCar race, I really shouldn't comment on that one. However, for the MX-5s around the Okayama, Ida circuit, whatever you want to call it, you can't really look past Chris Whitaker, man. Right spot, right time, banging in fastest laps for most of the race, well, fast compared to the guys around him. Didn't get taken out by anything stupid. Didn't do anything stupid. Still had the pace to pull. What do you have? 21 seconds at the end?
21, 22, yeah.
So
23
really,
actually.
Really hard to look past that for a driver of the night in the MX-5s.
Yeah, indeed. No, good stuff. Looking forward to next week immensely. Let's look ahead as far as, firstly, SimShed Broadcasting is concerned, because I know JP's got that graphic there ready for us to go. Now, make note of this. We're not with you this Tuesday. We're not with you this Wednesday on SimShed Broadcasting. The boys are having a well-earned week off before a 12-week swing to finish the season. They'll be on deck every week for 12 weeks once we come back on what will be March 23 and 24. And the broadcast times are as advertised on screen there, although there's going to have to be some editing going on after Easter rolls around, because we'll go back to Australian Eastern Standard Time across the board. Thursday night, the Anscara Britzy Cup continues. More oval racing there for you. And then, of course, the Gentleman Sim Racing Club on Friday night from 7:45 Eastern Daylight Time. The two up, the doubleheader, the launch pad into the weekend, the entree, the main course, whatever you want to call it. Next week on Monday night, I've actually got to ask Chris Whitaker about real world stuff, because I was going to ask him about Morgan Park, which is upcoming for him as well, but not to be. Let's look ahead as far as the Gentleman Sim Racing Club is concerned, though. Obviously, we've mentioned Friday night. Next week, it is, of course, IndyCar from Milwaukee, 65 minutes worth of racing there. Will be on air from 7:45 Eastern Daylight Time because Freaky Friday will precede it. Car and track combo will be revealed during our Thursday night broadcast, which I'll get to in a moment. Monday night, we've got a good mix of oval racing coming up this time around because we've got 2 ovals next week. First up, USA International Speedway for Wings and Slicks. That is coming up 8 o'clock Monday night Eastern Daylight Time. 20 minutes of action there, and that will be plenty of action. Don't worry about that. Wings and Slicks racing has been off the charts so far this year. That's followed by GT Racing from Zolder, first and only trip to Belgium for the season. Wednesday night, 7:10 Eastern Daylight Time. It's up and comers in sprint race format from the Tsukuba International Circuit. And I really like the fact that over the next 2 weeks, we've got sprint racing popping up on a couple of different nights that really just shakes things up, and the pressure mounts. And it's going to be top shelf stuff, particularly the reverse grid stuff. Really looking forward to that. That's another thing I was going to ask Nick about, but we're out of time, so I'm not even going to bother. Thursday night, don't worry about this, 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time. This is going to be well worth the price of admission. I meant to actually say on Wednesday night after the racing for the up-and-comers, we go to Phillip Island, back here where we were tonight, for the Stone Cold Supercar Series. And if it's anything like Sonoma, holy smoke, you're in for a real treat there. We will have price of admission well worth your time and energy and effort and everything else, because that race in Sonoma, one of the greatest finishes you'll ever see in sim racing. Fantastic stuff. David Kirby, perilously unlucky. Don't worry about that. Thursday night, we go to Oran Park. So it's a real Australian flavour to next week, isn't it? Oran Park for the doubleheader Pilot Series into Porsche GT3 Cup action. Rick Kuznetsov almost one hand on the trophy there, probably put one hand on the trophy by the end of next week. This is, of course, round 8. And Friday night, as I said, the Milwaukee Mile will play host to IndyCar after Freaky Friday. So 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time on the Thursday night, 7:40 on the Friday night, and we can't wait to have your company then. On behalf of Nick Vodiatis, Paul Nichols, all the team here, thanks so much for being with us. Hope you've enjoyed all the action on SimShed Broadcasting, our coverage of the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club Friday night motorsport doubleheader. Don't forget Sharp Extensive I.T as well, folks. Every warm referral for some printers and photocopiers and that sort of stuff. There it is on your screen. Digital signage, interactive whiteboards. That goes towards the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club. Every warm referral will contribute, will trigger $100 going into the bank account of the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club to keep this entertainment coming your way. So refer your businesses, refer your mates that run businesses to Sharp Extensive IT. A huge thanks to them, Rockdale, Volkswagen, Flash Graphics, Stone Cold Racing, Adam St. John and the great people at the Wabundri Hotel, Ocular Aerial Photography, Simple Sim Computers, LJ Hooker Gaindar, Motorfocus Quality Scale Models, Central Coast Motor Group, Fleet and Corporate. Without any of them, all this would not be possible. Terrific doubleheader. Chris Whitaker finally back in victory lane. Jackson Ray Hana finally back in victory lane. We've had fun. We hope you have as well. On behalf of Paul Nichols, Nick Fodiatis, and the team, I'm Zach Caban. Thanks for your company. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, everybody, and bye for now.